Jesus Christ, you people suck.
Wow.
Wolverine wanted to be just...
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 728 for December 19th, 2022, and is officially the final episode of 2022. And on the show this week, we got the Wombat.
Yes, sir.
We got Anthony.
Yep, it's the end of the year, all right.
It is. And we got Turds.
What up, everybody?
Oh, man, it has been a year. 2022 finally coming to a close. All the
Our
games...
16th year.
God damn it, you had to do that. 16 years?
16 years.
We are old enough to drive. this podcast can drive. Whew. Anyway.
Indeed.
All the games are out now, so now we can finally start talking about Game of the Year, unlike these other fucking amateur sites out here doing this shit in November. Fuck y'all doing?
Right? All this stuff coming out.
Man, two of the games that'll probably be on my list came out in December, so
Yep, me too.
what's up with that? Anyway, we'll get kicked off talking about some video games. I'll start off with Anthony. What's up?
Oh man, I haven't played anything.
Okay.
At this point, we should know. Yeah, so outside of Overwatch, which I will not talk about, I've been playing High on Life.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about High on Life, but oddly enough, the part that I thought would be my complaint is actually my favorite part of the game, which is the dialogue. It seems to be that, like, the thing I expected, where Justin Roiland just kind of starts going and doesn't stop talking, is used to make characters annoying. Like, the main gun, he specifically mentions how annoying people are, which is Justin Roiland doing the main gun.
His name is Kenny, sir.
Yeah,
He has a name.
I was going to say he's a Gatlian, but
Yes, he is a Gatlian with a trick hole.
With a trick hole. Yep.
Use my
The glob shot.
Shoot my glob at my trick shot, man. Come on, man. Shoot my glob. Oh, just do it. Oh, yeah, do it.
yeah. The worst part of this game is the combat. It's fine.
Really?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's bad.
It's fine, but like I do not feel like it is very mediocre shooting.
Yeah.
It takes too long to get another gun, and when I did, which is the JB Smoove sort of frog looking one, it does add a little bit of variety, but it's so long before you get him that it's like, I know my special abilities at this point. Like, I just started shooting people in the head, and then just stabbing them in the head with the knife, which is my favorite character in this entire game.
Knifey is
Knifey
pretty
is great.
good.
Knifey is voiced, I'm pretty sure, by the guy who did all the voices for Adventures in Bushworld, which is a short that Adult Swim made, and it is Rick and Morty in Australia. And everybody should watch it if you like Rick and Morty, or if you don't like Rick and Morty, because I think it's a pretty good parody making fun of Rick and Morty. It's a fantastic 5-minute short or something like that. But Yeah, like the writing in this game is really well done. It seems like they stepped away from trying to just do I have a generic plot and I'm going to just vamp for 20 minutes about it. The characters that do that, again, are pointed out to be annoying. The only time that I was like, oh, that's actually really great that they're doing that is it's one of the best tutorial sequences.
Yes, it is.
I thought
fantastic.
it was. But like, and this is not a complaint with the game. This is just consoles. It doesn't look great on Xbox One. There's some stuttering issues.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't
getting to that
surprise me
point.
either.
It was
But,
broken. It was broken on Series X before that first patch, which is what I played most of it on, and it was because it was refreshing at the wrong rate, and it made it look really weird.
Huh. Yeah, like, okay, so I walk up to a keypad, and the keypad just looks like a texture that hasn't loaded in Borderlands.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't
man.
shock me.
I know what I'm looking at, but it just, yeah.
Yeah, I feel it.
And so it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, you know, that's not really the experience here. It seems to know that, like, the gun is in really good quality, both of them. The enemies look good. So it understands, like, okay, the environment can look a little worse to make sure that the aliens look good. I like the idea that you're shooting off armor that is slime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot of interesting concepts. My biggest issue is literally that just when it's a shooter, I kind of hope that there's a little bit more to the shooting later. As we like that jungle level sucks. Just straight up did not enjoy it.
That was my least favorite level in the game. And I mean, you can go back to it once you unlock like the portal stuff and
Yeah, the desert's far more fun already.
the old town.
Just the old town.
Did you go to the
Yeah, Old
saloon
Town.
and fucking get the flute guy to do
The flute guy?
his business?
Blue guy was great, yeah. And it's just like, and then you can I worked in the theater where they have, I don't remember what movie playing, but there's now 2 movies that you can watch in full in this game. But they have the Red Letter Media guys doing their best impression of MST3K. Yeah, there's a lot of well done stuff in this. Personally, one of the best repeating jokes is the mayor the guy running for mayor that doesn't want drugs. I don't know if there's going to be a payoff, but he has come up multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
And I've just appreciated it.
There's a payoff.
Okay, I'm sure he gets
Nice.
caught with drugs.
I like the billboards for the moms against violence, and then the ones that are moms for violence.
violence.
Yeah, I like those.
There's so
Um,
much shit like around. Like that's the best part. You're right. It's the atmosphere of this game is the best part because there's so much shit hidden in this game.
Yep.
Like, my favorite character has 2 lines.
Really?
Mr. Bossington.
That was
That's
Oh.
like one of the best scenes in the game. You know what the worst part is there? Is if you have the third gun. Which I don't know. I assume you haven't got it.
I don't have it yet. I
Okay,
don't have it yet.
so the third gun is like a machine gun. It's basically the Needler, where you can shoot a
Oh,
bunch
okay,
of
I've seen the
shit
video.
into people and then explode it. But like if you have her for that sequence, you don't have to do the paperwork minigame.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, like you could just skip it because she just tells everybody what to do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart little sequences like that, and it's like, and that's the reason why when I say like I don't like the combat, we go into the combat way too often, and I'm like, that's not where this game shines, because it's just me shooting, unless the gun is talking. Like, on the first what's it called? The first hit that you take in the slums. That whole sequence is great. I killed a secret boss, baby. In that, like, there's so, but it's like the gun starts to get blood hungry.
Oh yeah,
and he just starts yelling out, and the knife is there alongside him, going, "Yeah, let's kill him."
the knife cracks. The knife never fails to be funny because when you kill a boss, the knife has to steal its DNA to turn into bounty. And like the comments that he makes throughout the game just get better and better.
Oh, it's so warm in here. You should really.
The game. What I love about this game is like it's so aware of what it's doing. Like there's a whole sequence later in the game where you don't use the knife for a while, and when he comes back out, he actually makes a comment about it. Just like the guns do, like it's the more you get guns, like if you have a favorite one, when you pull one that you haven't used
thanks
out,
for switching back to me.
They'll have different commentary. Like JB Smoove eventually was like, I know you really don't like me, but you know it's cool that you brought me back out. Oh, and then you put him away and he gets mad. It's so good.
Okay, have you? One of my favorite jokes, and I don't think there's any payoff to it other than the joke that's up front. Have you warped in the tiny city?
Oh god, the tiny city is so good. The Cutie Town, I think is what it's called. That motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's also
do
the train cart.
Did you do it?
What, the city?
Did you finish the city? Did you do what he asked you to do at the end of the city?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And the kitty's like, I can't believe you just did that. I didn't think you were going to do that.
Clearly, I'm going to have to play this today because I have not warped in the tiny city or the movie theaters.
Oh man, the movie theater. The first movie that I saw in there was Demon Wind. Oh
Nice.
Man, that movie.
Demon Wind,
I'm
that's
sure
what
that's
it
a
was.
gem.
Oh god, there's also Vampire Hookers. I think is another movie that's in there.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that. Okay, yeah.
The
Isn't Vampire Hookers the Herschel Walker story?
It could be. It could be. That's
The
why
other
I
one
was
was
mad.
Brian's timing. I believe it is.
the train cart was also a great thing to warp in.
Oh man, there's that game. There's a lot of shit in that game.
You know what though, Anthony? I feel you on the combat because it feels like Doom Eternal Light almost, and I know you get other stuff.
It's not even that. Like Doom Eternal Light, at least they kept giving you guns and upgrades.
Well, I think there's
upgrades-
upgrades in this.
The
But
upgrades are not. The upgrades are like you can now shoot more before reloading.
yeah, that's all the
And it's
ones I
like,
found so far.
The purchasing of the upgrades was very confusing to me because when you go to the pawn shop, like so much of the shit you can't buy, I didn't realize there was shit behind the counter that I could for like
Yeah.
half the damn game.
That's a consistent problem with this too. Is like sort of unclear direction. I'm doing the jungle level. At one point, he said, "I can. We're supposed to go get a jetpack." I think I saw one. So I went to get a jetpack, and the jetpack's not there. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's like I had hit a switch, but didn't realize that it dropped a laser grid.
The jetpack is once you get the jetpack, it's like game changing, like where you can explore. And then I don't want to spoil it, but there's a sequence later in the game. The fucking suit tutorial dude is awesome.
Oh,
I love
he's
him.
great.
He
Every
keeps
time he
coming
comes
back.
back.
He comes back
I'm
later
gonna
in the game for detective mode tutorial. Boy,
Oh,
that's
God.
good shit.
I'm gonna go masturbate.
I did
Yep.
enjoy at the very beginning when it gives you the option to continue with him as the suit tutorial, and the options are yes or of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go jerk off. Yep. Yeah, I can do that now.
Oh man, did y'all buy the alien cum?
No, I bought pee in a cup.
Nice.
There's an achievement if you finish the game with the alien cum in your inventory. Just let you know.
All right, I have to go buy that.
This fucking game has some shit. The rip off garbage pail kids are great.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the art. Yeah. Have you been reading the forums? Like that's like the challenges. So as you complete like 60 melee kills or whatever, it unlocks new forum posts.
Oh no, I have not.
Oh my god, they're hilarious.
All right, I'll have to do that.
Yeah, what was it? There was one he's like, suck my fart dick or something. I don't know, it was something stupid in the forums. I was just cracking up. It's so funny. Oh
Yeah,
man.
High on Life is probably gonna make my list.
It
is
absolutely
a
is making
really
my list.
good game. Like it has issues to be sure, but it's fun, and that's what you want out of a game. To have fun.
Man, I had so much fun playing this game. I'm still playing it. I finished it. Ending's a little kind of there. Like I was hoping for more, but
How long is it, Ken?
it's only like 10 hours. It's not long.
Okay. Yeah, I'm barely. I just got the suit like code key or whatever from the pawn shop.
Oh yeah.
So I've barely played any of it.
Yeah, it's not an overly long game. It certainly doesn't last too long. Like by the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm good. But man, is it funny? It's so funny.
Yeah, that's it for me, really, other than Overwatch. I just finished up the Sonic review and then kind of jumped into High on Life just for a little bit of a brain cleanse.
Man, High on Life feels, for me, I think it felt really good too, coming off of something like God of War, where I felt serious for 25, 30 hours. And now I'm just listening to stupid jokes for 10. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be a good palate cleanser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have something else though, because I did listen to last week's podcast because I wasn't here. Somebody on Twitter thought that I would not criticize the fact that I was making fun of Terrence's ban, which has been unrightfully lifted. I would go on to complain about Sony more than Microsoft. No, we all agreed that it was a shitty reason to be banned. I have weird feelings about bans in general. For minor infractions, I will say. Stuff that could be on the outskirts of like the rules, you know. I don't think Terrence should have been banned at all. That was dumb, and especially when you contested
appealed it, yeah,
appealed it, and they're like, nah, man, it's still in place. It's the reason why I left Twitter. My issue is not with bans, and honestly, I think partially because of, I'll get into that in a second. My issue is not with bans. My issue is with being consistent, and Microsoft, and Twitter, both not consistent with bans. You know, I get it. Any forum will have that issue too, but it's just, if you're gonna set up rules and say these are important, they better be fucking important all the time. Otherwise, you've established it doesn't matter. Twitch, I think, is the biggest fucking hypocrite when it comes to having rules and then not following them based on who they like.
Well, who's making them money? That's what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, motherfucker, if you set up the rules and your people make money but break them, then you need to have a real discussion on what the fucking rules are saying.
Right.
And if you're going to follow them or not. Because guess what? You set the rules. You can change the rules. But you should change the rules for everybody or, fucking support them that, Anyways, fuck it. One thing that I will say, and this is just probably because the way that the PlayStation Network kind of always was, I have heard far less swearing. I mean, maybe now it's worse, but like, when I was playing on PS4 even, Battlefield, there was barely anybody on mic. I didn't get a lot of messages from people. When I did, they were mostly positive. And if I didn't, they were at least within the realm of like stuff that could be sent. And it was just like, I haven't run into that issue with PlayStation. PlayStation has different issues with their online service, or did anyways at the time. But it wasn't as big of a concern. But yeah, it wasn't even. It wasn't that I wasn't okay with the ban. It was just because I'm going to make fun of Terrence because of how much of a nothing burger his message was. Like, it was a compliment, and he still got banned. That's what was funny about it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it makes me angry.
Well, and I think, and now I'm going to leave it alone. I feel like the appeal, if you appeal something, it should go to a person for review, not a machine. I honestly think that a machine is what denied it. If a person read my response, because it was like a paragraph that I typed, because I assumed it was going to be read by a person, because I explained myself, and it was just denied so quickly. Like, it was a machine that looked at that. That's not fair. Like, I mean, that's not right.
I mean, the machine banned you. So
I mean, yeah, right. I guess it is fair, honestly.
It's a robot discourse. You gotta get used to it, son.
I guess so. That's what it is.
He who passes the judgment should swing the sword.
Yeah,
Machine.
exactly.
The machine judged you, so the machine swung the sword.
Here we go. All right.
See?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, my issue was more of how stupid the ban was, and that it was funny at Terrence's expense.
Not everything is a fanboy conversation. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
so tired
no.
of hearing about it, but
Microsoft, there's at some point, I think our Microsoft discussions.
they're gonna get
died
nasty
off
today. I got shit today.
because, and I've got something to say. What can we complain about? They don't put out any fucking video games. You know, they don't put out anything. They don't put out anything. What can we complain about?
Excuse me, Anthony. They put out controller jackets last week. I want you to know.
Oh God! You're right.
I felt my controller shivering too. I might have to order one of them jackets.
But like on a consumer level, it's like, was that a Rumble joke? God damn it, Terrence!
It was.
Oh, fuck.
See what you done did.
It was, yeah. Again, it was like there's enough to complain about Microsoft. It's just like, how many times a week can you hear like Microsoft got no games, and it be true? Eventually, you're not even complaining. You're just stating fact.
Oh, don't worry. I got some bones to pick with them later.
All right then. Well, let's move on so we can get quicker to Ken's complaints.
Oh, they'll be there. Terrence, I'm gonna move over to you. What's up?
Okay. Well, I'll be quick because I don't think I really played anything new that I haven't played before. Some more Midnight Suns, trying to wrap that up so I can finish the review. I played a lot of Divine Knockout actually, which it's actually really solid, but I know it's gonna be typical high res, so I'm just kind of not getting too hyped about it because they'll invest for a little bit and then it'll fall by the wayside. But like the combat and stuff is really solid. And they put some patches in to fix some of the issues I had with some of the dodging mechanics and stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. Overwatch, but we're not talking about Overwatch. I played a little bit of Crisis Core. That's a lot of fun. I mean, I've never played the PSP one, so I'm a virgin. I'm going into this brand new. I enjoy it. It pisses me off that we don't have the Final Fantasy VII remake on Xbox because I feel like this UI and stuff is just straight from the Final Fantasy VII remake.
It
the
is
graphics,
100%.
everything.
It's 100% from that, and also there's like an advertisement somewhere in the game for Final Fantasy VII remake, which is even more of a kick in the fucking face.
Wow! So I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah. But it's not bad. I haven't played enough to talk about it, but I've enjoyed to go in depth about it. But I've enjoyed what little bit I've played. High on Life. I mean, but we already talked about that. I love that game. It's so funny. Like it's just funny. And that. Oh no, I played that Jitsu Squad. And the other, I can't think of the Hemosaurus. The
Terror of Hemosaurus. Yes.
The Terror of Hemosaurus. So that one is like, if y'all played, oh god, what is that game? Rampage back in the day. It's basically like a new version of Rampage. Like it has retro graphics. Like it has different characters you can choose from. There's a mechanical Hemosaurus and there's a sloth. Is that one dude a sloth? I didn't pick him. I picked the mechanical one. But like you destroy buildings, you eat people, you can kick cars into helicopters, destroy helicopters. It's a destruction time. It's a good time.
Good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good time. Jitsu Squad, I finished a couple levels of that. That's actually a super solid beat 'em up. Wow.
That thing came out of like nowhere, and like nobody was talking about it. And I watched a video a couple months ago, somebody talking about it, and then like literally after I saw that video, they're like, "Oh, it's coming to consoles in December." I'm like, "Oh no, let's play this." It's so good.
Yeah, and you probably played more, so I mean, you could go more into it. But yeah, it's a super good beat 'em up game if you like those. Like I only played the I can't think of the Arrows, the what is he, a water buffalo? I don't know, the dude with the metal arm. But like there's like summons, and I'm assuming that's where Max comes in because Maximilian is in this game. He's
a
a summon.
Summon with Benny. Yep.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you call in summons. Like I summoned a dragon, which destroyed all these little demon things. Like, and it has like finishing moves, and there's nuances to the combat. Instead of just mashing buttons, you have to like time them
Oh, it's
sometimes
got
to
like
make it.
fucking parry moves and cancel moves. Like if you want to get deep in this game, you absolutely can. It's like fighting game mechanics.
Nice. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I've liked what I've played of that so far. Now, the one complaint I do have is it doesn't look like it has online co-op. It has
does
same
not.
screen co-op. Okay,
does
that
not.
sucks.
Yep.
In the year of our Lord 2022, but that's fine. But yeah, that's it. That's what I played. Move
All right.
on.
Move on to the Wombat.
All right. So I finished God of War,
Hmm.
and I'm in sort of cleanup mode now, where I'm just doing some of the one. Well, there's 2 quests you get when you finish the game. The one's very short. I did that one already. I'm in the process of doing another quest that you get after you finish the game, and then I'll put that one aside. Love the game. It's going to be in my top 3. I just got to decide on sort of what the order of operations is there, of 2 and 3. I already know what my number 1 for the year is. But yeah, excellent game. The story is fantastic. Very, very, very ends very, very well. So yeah, I definitely really enjoyed that one. I also played High on Life, but as I mentioned, very short amount. Just basically long enough to get a feel for what the game was. I'll go back to that one here shortly. I played Vampire Survivors on mobile to see what that was like, since I had played it on PC already. And it's good on mobile. It plays the same way as you would expect it to if you played the console or PC version. The only real difference that I can see is that there are you can watch an ad to revive yourself in the mobile version,
Okay.
and you can also watch an ad to double the gold that you earn after you finish or after you die in a level. Which, I mean, I'm used to mobile games with paid ads. I don't even pay attention to the ads anymore. So yeah, it's very innocuous ad interference. They're all optional. There's no forced ads. You can just choose to watch one if you want to revive yourself, and you can choose to watch one if you want to double your gold after you finish a level. So, but yeah, it's really good, and it makes for a good second game to play when I'm on cooldown for Survivor IO. Let me think if there's anything else I want to talk about before I get into the big one. I think I played anything other than those. I haven't played them yet, but it may still be on sale. I bought the Diablo Primeval collection on Switch because it was after my gold coins. I was able to get it for like $15, and it's got the Ultimate Collection for Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 Resurrected in it. So I figured for $15, considering I only own the base version of Diablo 3, and it's on PS4, and I don't own Diablo 2 Resurrected at all. So I figured I can't really pass that up for $15.
Hell yeah.
And I'll play it on my Switch more than I would play it on my console. So, but the big thing that I've been playing is Dragon Quest Treasures.
Did you not check out The Witcher?
No, I haven't checked it out yet.
Okay.
What?
No, yet. I know. I'm going to, but I had already made up my mind that I was gonna play Chained Echoes before I go back to The Witcher. Because I wanna play games that I haven't already finished. Yeah, games I want to play that I haven't already finished before I go back to games that I have.
Well, you're gonna start over in Witcher too, aren't you? You're gonna do like a new game. Yeah. See, I went into it finishing up the expansion and stuff. So okay, I got you. It makes more sense for you to wait.
I've already beat both expansions, so I'm just gonna start over fresh. So yeah, so Dragon Quest Treasures is just a table set for a second. Well, let me table set with something else first before I table set the actual game. I've seen some criticism of this game online, and some of it is fair for sure, and some of it is like, I mean, it's a kid's game. Like, it's not meant to be a full grown-up Dragon Quest. And so, like, I've seen some people online making criticisms of it that, criticize the difficulty or criticize sort of how simple it is or criticize and it's like, okay, but yeah, it's like supposed to be baby's first Dragon Quest. Like, it's not meant to be a full-out Dragon Quest game. So I think so before I even talk about the game, if your expectation is that this is like a full Dragon Quest game, it is not that. It's more, as much as blasphemous as this is, I want everybody to remember that I enjoy this game. It's basically the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest of Dragon Quest games. It's built to be kind of an onboard for people who've never played the series before or who don't have a whole lot of experience with games like this. So it is a prequel to Dragon Quest XI, and it follows Eric and his sister Mia. And from a story standpoint, the only thing you really need to know is that they are trying to find treasure. And so they get sucked. They find these daggers. They get sucked through this portal and get some neat little monster companions. And their goal is to find treasure and basically prove their worth as treasure hunters. And so it's got what I'll say is light voice work, where like one line out of a series of dialogue might be voice acted. It's got real-time combat along with a party, so you'll recruit monsters to your gang. And the mechanic, the way that works is when you beat a monster in combat, there's a percentage chance that they're going to be interested in joining your gang. And there are bullets for your slingshot that can actually make them more likely to want to join your gang. So if you're trying to recruit a specific monster, you can shoot it with one of these bullets ahead of time, and it'll increase the percentage chance that it's going to want to join your gang after you beat it in combat. So you end up teaming up with these monsters, and they sort of fight on their own. While you're in combat, your main character has a melee attack and a slingshot that they can do combat with. You can also heal allies with a specific bullet from the slingshot. The monsters that you team with also have these like special moves that they can do. Not just so they have two. They have special attack that they can do once that's charged up. But then they also have these moves, and I cannot remember for the life of me what they are called. And I'm looking at my notes, and I didn't write the name of it down because, of course, I didn't. Forte, that's what they're called. They have fortes, and so for example, if you have a slime character that's on your team, the slimes can bounce you up, so you can reach higher places than you could with your normal jump. If you have a Drakey on your team, you can grab onto their feet and glide down from a high place. Or there's some places where there's like a wind current, and you can glide on the Drakey to get to wherever the wind current is taking you. And yeah, I mean that's really the game. There's a vision mechanic, a treasure vision mechanic, where in certain areas when certain things are met, your monsters will send you a vision of treasure that they know is nearby, and it basically will show you a picture. And multiple games have had these. God of War, as a matter of fact, has them. They call them treasure maps, but it'll show you a picture of the environment. And so when you find that spot in the environment, there'll be treasure there for you to find. And yeah, I mean, you just go about doing quests, gathering treasure, fighting monsters, increasing your team. There's there's other treasure hunting gangs, and so occasionally you'll do these things called gang warfare, where you battle a bunch of their monsters, and it's kind of like capture the flag, where you have to try to pull this flag out of the ground. But in order to do it, you pretty much have to kill all or most of the other monsters, because they'll keep trying to interrupt you while you're trying to take the flag. It's really fun so far, and it's got the Dragon Quest charm that you expect. The characters all have that nice Dragon Quest art style, and the music is exactly what you would expect from a Dragon Quest game. A lot of remixes of songs from Dragon Quest 3 and other older games. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun so far. Again, don't go into it expecting some deep strategic RPG. It's not that at all, but it's definitely a lot of fun. So
Is this the Mystic Quest of Dragon Quest?
did you miss me saying that explicitly?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
He did say that too.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I led off
Okay.
with. It's basically the Mystic Quest of Dragon Quest.
I do have a question about it, because I like Dragon Quest a lot. When you're in the open world, does it feel like the open world of like 11, or
Yes.
is it a little bit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's much more like 11.
Okay. Because I figured it wasn't going to be like Builders, where it's really open world, but
No, it's definitely not. It's more like 11. So the core concept here is that you're on these series of islands, and you're trying to repair this rail station that will allow you to travel between the different islands. And so each island is kind of an open world map, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not, I would say, a true open world. But it
That's
is,
fine.
it's like 11 in the sense that there's no random encounters. The monsters are all on the screen. You can actually sneak attack the monsters. So if you crouch and can manage to sneak up to them, you can sneak attack them. You can also pick their pockets if you manage to sneak up to them. So yeah, it's much more, I'd say, in spirit like Dragon Quest 11, which makes sense, like I said, because it's a prequel.
Prequel. Does it feel like it's actually a prequel, or does it feel like you're just taking random characters?
It feels more to me like it's just, hey, we liked this character in Dragon Quest 11, so we're going to make a prequel around them.
I don't know why I asked that question. I'm still going to end up playing it.
Yeah, you should. It's fun. Like I said, don't expect it to be like some deep experience. It's another good comparison might be it's the what was the Pokemon game that was Hey Pikachu? Is that it?
Yeah.
Hey You,
let's
Pikachu.
go. Let's go. No.
Yeah.
Let's
that,
go.
No, hey,
Or is
you.
it Hey You?
Let's go Pikachu.
Hey
Let's
You
go
is
Pikachu.
Hey You is the microphone game.
Yeah, you're right. It's
gotcha.
Let's Go Pikachu.
Let's Go Eevee,
where
yeah.
it was a Pokemon game, but it was kind of a simple Pokemon game.
We're trying to get that Pokemon Go audience.
Yeah, that's what I'd say this is kind of like too. But it's definitely fun. So
Right.
I recommend it if you have any investment at all in the series. It's enjoyable so far.
Dude.
11 was my first one, and Eric was my favorite character, so I probably will play this game.
Yeah,
Voiced
you should play it.
Voiced by the same guy who did the voice of Noctis in Final Fantasy 15.
I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
Well, I don't remember his last name right now.
Huh.
Damn. Ray. God.
Romano.
No.
Deborah.
That'd be just admit it. That would be better at this point. Come on,
That would be better.
that would be great.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, that's the game. So I'm not deep enough in it to finish the review at this point, but it's going to get a pretty decent score for me. And yeah, that's really it. So the next things on my list are, like I said, finishing the cleanup here on God of War, and then I'll probably do High on Life before Chained Echoes, since High on Life is so short. And I think Jay said Chained Echoes is about 25 hours. So
Yeah, he did.
I'll probably do High on Life first and get through that, and then switch over to Chained Echoes, and then make my way back to Witcher.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll wrap this up. A lot of stuff I was just diving into because I was finishing up High on Life, and starting Crisis Core, which I'm pretty early on as well. I think I finished the first, like I did the tutorial, and then I did that first mission to storm the castle, and that's kind of where
That's where I'm at. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
like
at the same spot.
like literally just got started. I like that like the materia is just on the bumper, and like it's super simple to use. It seems to run out really fast. I'm not a big fan of like the potion stuff in between while I'm in combat, because it's like I gotta D-pad over and then press the button. Like it's a little cumbersome, but I get it. I do like the game though. It's very pretty. The cutscenes definitely look weird because they're just kind of up-resed PSP cutscenes, so they're a little blurry.
Oh, that's why then. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was noticing that too. I was like, why does the game look so good in game, but then the cutscene looks worse? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, those are the original PSP cutscenes. They didn't redo those, which I understand. That's expensive.
Yeah, save
shit,
money.
But
Yeah.
you know. I started Chain of Echoes. I wanted to see how, so I went through the tutorial on that. I think that's cool. I like the active mechanic of like, you have to, like, your characters have different attacks, and you have this overdrive meter, and the objective is to kind of keep the meter in the green, because if it goes into the red, like, it overheats. And I like that it like randomizes which attacks to use to keep the meter. Like, that's a really cool mechanic. It makes it more interactive instead of just pressing attack or selecting a spell. So I like that. That's pretty cool. I did dig into The Witcher a little bit. I have come to the conclusion that unless you absolutely force me, I cannot play games at 30 FPS anymore. It just doesn't look right to me. Like it doesn't feel.
Yep.
And The Witcher looks really good with ray tracing and you know, that global illumination and all that stuff. It looks really pretty, but it doesn't look that much worse to get the 60 FPS. So
Nope, not at all. I forgot. I did play that too.
yeah, I'm gonna take that 60 FPS. I did do a new game plus, which was crazy because I did the first mission and that fucking first monster you fight is level 50, and I'm like, oh shit, why is he level? Oh, that's right, because I'm level 50. Okay, we're good. So
Yeah, it's been so long since I played it. I don't know that I can do New Game Plus. Like if I was coming straight out of it, I could probably do it, but man, it's that game can be hard. So I don't know that I want to do New Game Plus.
yeah, like I thought I was gonna be like some new game pluses, like keep the enemies at low levels. I thought I'd just like one shot fucking stuff. Like nah, man, that dude was level 50. I'm like, oh shit, damn.
It's gonna be a fight for real.
Yeah. I do like the new spellcasting. That's really nice. That
Love
you just
it.
hold down
love
the
it.
trigger and press a button. Like,
Yup.
dude, this is great.
Love that. The camera too. I like that the camera is closer.
Yeah,
I
the
use
camera is
that close
nice.
camera for fighting, and then I use the wider angle when I'm traveling.
Yeah, that man, they did a really good job on that next gen version.
Does the close camera mimic like God of War's close camera?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Speaking of patches, I also checked out a couple games that got quality of life patches this week, which was Asterigos. That game still really
And-
needs a fucking waypoint marker. So goddamn bad. Like, I jumped
Yeah.
into it and I'm like, Although the
I would
combat, the
I
combat
would be
being on
surprised
buttons.
I would be surprised if a patch fixed the problems I had with that game.
Yeah, I still don't think it's great, unfortunately. And then Gungrave, which who the fuck thought it was a good idea to have to constantly press the right trigger to shoot?
Did they patch that,
That
or
is
that's still a
patched.
thing?
You can now press down on the D-pad and just hold the goddamn right trigger.
Thank you, G. I might look at that game now.
Although it's funny
my trigger
because
finger so buff.
they didn't even bother to like rework it. So like when you press down on the D-pad, it basically says, you know that move you can do by holding the button? Yeah, that's just gone.
Wow, okay.
Like you got to press down on the D-pad in order to go back to the old way to make that move work. I'm like, wow, that's fucking lazy.
That's super lazy.
Like, what are you doing, man? Come on. And then they added the cel-shaded mode, which makes it look like the old PS2 games, which that's a cool touch. So, what else did I check out? Like, I was revisiting a bunch of crap. It's that time of year where you got to go back and check out all the old games. I got a little hyped after the Armored Core trailer, so I booted up Armored Core 5. That is not a good Armored Core. That's probably the worst Armored Core. But I also grabbed the original and Project Phantasma, so I'm gonna try those this week. I didn't get a chance to play those. I just got them set up, so I'm gonna play those this week. I'm gonna admit something. I feel dirty admitting this. So, I follow a couple people from 2K on Twitter, and I know one of them. I've chatted with him before, and he was like, "I'm gonna give out some free codes. You know, like what games do you want to see?" And I was like, "You know, I'd be interested in checking out Midnight Suns." Motherfucker DM'd me and gave me a legendary edition of that game.
Nice.
I was like, "Oh shit, thank you." So I played through the tutorial that last night. I kind of like the game.
Yep.
It's pretty good. And I hate card games. It is pretty good.
It gets better. Like the card thing is not. It's not what you think it is. Like the Hearthstone, or you're actually playing like a game of Magic. Like that game is good. Like it's up there with XCOM, and I hope to God it gets a sequel. Like, it's really good.
I started playing it, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of digging this. I like that it's just like these are your attacks, and like you can swap out the cards, and I like that there's like interactive environment stuff, and like you can move your character around to do it's cool. I'll have to see how the chit chat parts go, because it's so hard. Marvel has kind of shot themselves in the foot. Like, when you see these characters in the game, if they're not Robert Downey Jr. or Benedict Cumberbatch, you're like, this is the fucking dollar store versions of Marvel characters, and it really downplays the people who are performing, because sometimes they're good, they're really good, but you don't feel like they're the real versions, and I think that's the Marvel problem. You know, with their movies being so high profile now. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and that's one of the things it's going to be in my review, because I actually like the voice cast. I like everybody. The only one that I waver on is Iron Man, and it's because instead of him doing like his own thing, he seems like he's trying to embody Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. And I think that's what everybody that's played Iron Man post Robert Downey Jr. has done, and they don't have to. Like, that can be him. Like, you could give your own spin. Everybody else has had their own spin. Doctor Strange is really good. Like, he's totally different from Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, I don't know, but yeah.
I love the little jokes they make with the characters, like the in jokes.
There's a lot of that.
That was hilarious. Like the fact that he called him Robo Man, and then they put up the title card and called him Robo Man.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Like little things like that were really good. So I'm gonna play some more of that game.
Good.
That game is better than I thought it was gonna be. All right. Is there anything else before I run through these? So I don't know what they're doing lately.
Before you start, I want to correct myself.
Go ahead.
Apparently Ray Chase, who is the voice of Noctis in Final Fantasy 15, did not voice Eric or any character, but I think they redid all the dialogue in Dragon Quest XI. I feel like I'm being gaslit, because I remember him, when I played Dragon Quest XI, not having an accent at all. It was very odd. He had like an American accent. He was the only person. And Gunnar Cothery, I think is how I pronounce his name, he's English. I think he was doing no accent, like purposely trying to remove his accent originally, because I've now watched the new version of Dragon Quest XI, and it's like, no, that's not the same voice. I thought it was a different voice actor. So he was just doing a voice that sounded like Ray Chase, I guess, because Ray Chase was hired for a bunch of shit for Square Enix at the time.
Well, did you play the original? And then just real quick, I didn't play it until it came to Xbox, so it's like the special edition or whatever. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's different.
4S, no, it's the same voice actor, but he went and redid the lines, I think. 4S. Dude, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I could have sworn I saw Ray Chase announce that he was fucking Eric. This is how fucking shit gets. This is Mandela effect happening to me in real time, but it's only me. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. It's bothering me. Oh, God. So I was wrong. I just wanted to correct myself while I had the chance. I liked Eric in the game. It was just very odd. Now I have to go read my review, see if I mentioned that. Jesus Christ.
Oh, nobody's going back and reading it, so
Hey, don't go down a rabbit hole, man. You're good. It's
rabbit
fine.
holes are bad. Like I've done
I feel
that
like I'm
before.
being gaslit by myself. I need to prove which part of me is right.
Oh, fun times. So the indie games have been weird lately because they'll send like every 2 weeks now, which makes it almost impossible to go through every fucking game. So I'll just run through these pretty quick. So Bot Gaiden was the first thing I played. This game wants to be Mega Man, down to the here's a robot, you kill it, you get some powers. But like going through the stages is weird because you'll collect these power-ups. It's almost like a mobile game where you'll pick up like a speed boost or an armor bonus or an attack bonus as you're going through. And it feels like it's designed to be moving fast. Like even the game at one point's telling me like, hey, you know, the speed will come with repetition. I'm like, well, I don't want to go through these more than once. That seems stupid. Like, just let me beat the boss, get the power, move on to the next level. It's very colorful, very fast, like really, really, I don't know the word to use, almost like a cartoon. Like, it very much looks like a cartoon. It plays well, it's fun, but I don't know that I'd ever go back to it. I tried to play Reky, R-E-K-Y, I don't know, that's how you say it. It's basically like a puzzle game where you're this little dot and you can move blocks. Reminds me of like, what's that PSP? Echochrome, where it's kind of like got a perspective puzzle game. I don't know that I understood it. I played through like 10 levels, I'm like, I don't know that I get what you're putting down. Basically the dot can change color of blocks and then blocks can move in certain, basically, you know, get the dot from point A to point B by moving other blocks. It's weird. Boy, I gotta give this next game some credit because like everything wants to be a Souls game, right? This game is a Souls game. It's called Grime, Colors of Rot. It's 2D. You don't attack.
So you just die over and over again? That's what it is?
Your
That's what
only-
we put out?
Your only method of defeating enemies is to parry.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So-
hold on. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, so like you just walk it through, and when an enemy attacks, if you parry, you kill them. If you don't, you get fucked up. And it's definitely got the go back to the bonfire, collect your whatever the fuck they are, the colors of rot, I guess. You're in a world of a bunch of ugly people, and you're like an Adonis with no face. And whenever you talk to the characters, they're like, "Oh, you're not one of my ugly brothers." I'm like, "Wow, that's kind of mean."
Jesus.
So it's an interesting take on the genre. I don't know how much I care because the parry window is so lenient. Like it's not even hard.
That sounds like Sonic's parry window, which is just infinite.
Yeah, like it's not quite infinite. Like you definitely have to hit
But
it.
it's damn close.
It's
yeah.
damn close. There is no challenge to hitting this parry. So I don't.
Well, that sucks.
Free idea for somebody who wants to make a Dark Souls-esque, but also a parody game, where you defeat your enemies by hurling you just smother them in dead corpses, so you just keep running into battle and dying and coming back at the shrine, but your body's still there, so eventually you just suffocate them.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. That
idea.
sounds like an indie game that probably.
Yeah, I mean,
exists.
like you could make bridges with your dead corpses, get over gaps.
Wasn't there a game where you could use your body, like your dead corpses, to do something like a puzzle game? Wasn't that a thing?
If that is a game, I want to play it.
I swear I've seen that mechanic.
I'm sure it's not the first time somebody's like, "What if your dead body stayed there?"
What if your dead body did this thing? Wavetail is a pretty neat 3D platformer. Where like the mechanic is you get like this surfboard to travel around the world. But you're pretty standard 3D platformer. Petite Adventure is essentially like an RC Pro-Am style racing game where you're doing tricks and burnouts and stuff. It's pretty cool. Dobo's Heroes. This is a weird premise. So you're like playing this grandpa character, And it's one of those, here's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, solve the puzzle in every level, move on to the next. But you have your grandson with you who can be a platform. So, like, he could, like, flatten his body and let you climb on him. And it's just weird.
It sounds weird.
And
Wow.
I think they're, like, sheep people. So they're sheeple. I don't know. Dad's Monster House, a point-and-click, black and white adventure. Really cool art style. But it is point-and-click adventure, so...
Is it? Hold on. That sounds like a me thing. Hold on.
Yeah, Dad's Monster House. It's literally like... It reminds me of... what's the art style? Kind of like Tim Burton-esque, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the... You know what? On a very basic level, I look at this and go, I don't think this is for me. But the character designs are so great. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see what they're up to.
Yeah, it's one of those where like you just basically clicking around to interact with things, and
it reminds me. Oh God, sorry, I'm about to get weird. There's a game called Out of Order, and it was drawn with like the same sort of look, which is like early 2000s, not Microsoft Paint, but close to art, like, and I love that point-and-click adventure game, and I think the guy went on to work at Sumo. And I messaged Sumo once, saying, does he still work there? I want to talk about Out of Order.
Does he still work there?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know, because like, it was like this charming little point-and-click game that he put up for free, and I love it. I have good memories of it, and I wanted to see if he would be willing to talk about it and fucking write something for the cider.
Well, there you go.
But I never got a message back, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like a cool game. Just I'm not a point-and-click guy, so didn't gel with me. Hindsight feels like Jack Handy the game. If you remember Jack Handy from Saturday Night Live, basically you just click on things and then this woman reflects on something.
Motherfucker, explain what that is, because if you're willing to explain what fucking CD works, like no one's ever seen them.
You don't remember Jack
last
Handy?
week?
Where he
remember Jack Handy?
Jack Handy just basically gives you life quotes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do know. Okay, thank you. That's what I needed.
So that's literally what this game is like you just click on the lady and then she gives you like some deep mental thoughts. Like there's no game to it that I could see. Just one of those. Mech Armada is a like a turn-based tactics game with some tower defense shit thrown in. Not for me, but it seemed pretty cool. Hero-ish.
Oh yes.
I don't know why you wanted this. Like,
oh, okay.
You basically just move left and right, and your character auto attacks.
Terrence is a fine purveyor of shit.
I am, actually. Damn, I can't really deny that. As my computer just like popped up freaking Skelly Bones thing.
Yeah.
Like literally my Ubisoft Connect just popped up and I'm like, what the heck? Like I don't even know. Anyway.
Ubisoft Connect's like, hey man, you haven't played in a while. You wanna come back?
You wanna play some trash? Come on over to the dark side.
Whatever. No, I read that it was
from a boat?
Shut up! I read that it was a MOBA, and I like MOBAs, and I'm waiting actually for Wild Rift to come to consoles, which was supposed to happen this year, but I guess Riot's going to announce something next year. I don't know, but anyways, yeah. But I thought maybe this was, but apparently it wasn't.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I was doing a tutorial, and the dude just walks left and right, and when he walks up to something, he just hits it. Like I don't have to press attack; he just do it.
That's kind of a MOBA, but not. I mean, there should be some. Okay, well, all right.
I don't know. There's probably more to
good.
it, but when you send me 30 fucking games, I only got like 10 minutes, and then we're done.
I mean, yeah.
So, Cassiodora is a horizontal shmup with elemental power. So basically, if you want to go through this door, you hit it with the fire. You want to go through that door, you hit it with the electric. That kind of shit. Panda Punch. I mean, you got it. All right. You a panda with a big old with a doom fist, and you punch people, and that's it.
Nice.
That's what it is. And it's excuse me. This last one's weird. It's called It's Kooky. What kind of game you think it is? Just you've never seen it, you never heard of it. It's called It's Kooky, and it's black and white with a bear cheerleader on the cover. What do you think you do?
Oh, I was gonna say an Addams Family game.
That's
Nope.
what I was going to say. Wow, a bear
I'm gonna-
cheerleader.
I'm gonna guess it's
It's a dating simulator.
Oh no!
No, that's my guess. Go ahead. What's your guess?
I
Yeah,
was gonna
visual
say.
novel.
I don't. Now I agree with you. I was gonna say like a cinematic platformer, but
Mm.
What is it?
It's pick out the kooky pictures. So like, you remember those things like what's weird in this picture? You gotta circle it. It's one of those.
Oh,
Wow, we were
Oh.
so wrong. What?
I'm okay that you were wrong about it being a dating sim. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I mean, well, yeah.
it's literally like the tutorial is literally like, here's a dinosaur and here's a dinosaur and a unicycle. Which one is kooky?
Wow.
Yeah.
it'd be funny though if you were playing it and it got suddenly really dark. It's like which one's kooky, and it's just like terrible, awful things happening.
I
And you have to choose, and it just slowly gets darker and darker.
You're giving me hatful boyfriend vibes there, where like,
Yeah.
it looks like something else, but then it turns it. Whoa, where did we go with this?
It's like but just mutilated pigs, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
Like which one's kooky?
mysterious and spooky. What about altogether ooky? All right, what's out this week? It's that time of year. I think we're not going to have a lot to talk about here, but let's run
Fine.
through it. We're getting some DLC for Them's Fighting Herds, so a new character. This is Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Wave Break, which I think has been out on Switch and PC forever. It was on Stadia first. It's like Tony Hawk in a boat with animals. So piece all that together.
You know what's Tony Hawk with animals? Maneater.
That's true.
Play
Man, that game is good, though.
That game
I
is
like
awesome. And an 8-ball pocket. And
Jeez, I
that's,
wonder what that is.
that is a visual novel. So-
Wait, what?
No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say that. Okay.
Actually got him to believe it for a second. He's like,
Yeah.
You know what, man? The reason why I believed it was because it's called 8-ball pocket, and not like pool or
That's
just
true.
8-ball. And I'm like, man, that's probably got some sort of deeper meaning. Is the 8-ball pocket how they time travel to undo the sins of their past or some shit?
I mean, now you got me interested. I don't know what's going on. PlayStation 5's mostly the same stuff. Jitsu Squad making its way over there this week. Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, and then Battle Axe Special Edition. And that's it for the new consoles. PlayStation 4, Xbox One is actually the same stuff. PlayStation 4 is finally getting Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. And then Xbox One, we got a couple things here. Project Snake, it's Snaqe, so I don't know, that's probably something. Ships, Wally and the Fantastic Predators, and Tower Princess. And that's it for those two consoles. Even the Switch, I don't have to click into. That's how light the releases are this week.
Yeah, we have reached the end of the year.
Project Snake is an action and precision game inspired by the classic Snake. Drill, shoot, and expand your super mining machine as you try to deal with monsters along the way. Simple and easy to play, but hard to master.
There you go.
It's a whole $2.30 on Steam. That's Canadian. So
Nintendo Switch, we've got Arrow Striker, World Invasion, Gyro Blade, Mind Jab, Headbangers, and Holiday Hell. That sounds like a game I want to play. Packages Inc. Hold on, this was a long title. Drone Race Simulator Pilot Flight School Airplane Games Jet 2023. Whew.
Why do they do that on Switch? That they just vomit words? Like, what in the world?
That's one game. And the fact that it has a year in it is cracking me up.
Right. So next year we're going to get the same title, but 2024.
2024 version. Grappling Dash, Kawaii Slime Arena, Poppalings, The Tale of Clouds and Wind, Cubite Classics, Windstorm and Unexpected Arrival, Words in Word, and Astronomical Club for Queers.
okay.
Okay.
That's the last game.
I have questions about that,
I don't.
and it's the astronomical part that's got me.
I don't. Yeah. And then Cat's Puzzle is out on Christmas.
Jeez, I wonder
Eve.
what that is.
That's out on Christmas.
Just the gift that everybody's been waiting.
Puzzle for cats. It's a puzzle game for your cat, so you could
That's what it is.
solve puzzles. Whew. All right. Let's do some news. It was also a light week for news, but I do have a few things here. Let's kick it off with the Game Awards hit 103 million viewers.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. What's the Oscars is like right around 9 million?
Yeah.
So this is like 10 times the Oscars?
But see, I mean,
90
Well,
million
no.
more people saw the Game Awards than saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock.
Now that's not true.
I didn't see. Well, I mean,
We
yeah,
all
saw
saw
the
that.
clips now. Yeah,
I know.
I just feel like that
I meant
number
live.
is inflated.
I should preface that by saying live. 90 million more people
Gotcha.
saw the Game Awards live than.
I still feel like it's inflated, and it's not. No, it is because I don't like Geoff, but I feel like it's inflated because how many of us were watching on one screen and had it running on another because we was in the Steam contest?
Well, there were 10 million viewers on Steam, so that accounts for 1/10 of. That's still more than the Oscars.
Just the 10 million. That
Was
man,
just on Steam.
Who was running this test? I want to see these numbers for real. Not that.
I mean, you put
report.
them out. You can go to the website and see them.
Okay.
That's
I'm
just
do
for
that.
real.
I'm gonna check his numbers, but no, that is impressive. Good for him. Good
I'm
job,
gonna
Geoff.
check your numbers, Geoff. I think you're lying.
I am, but I'm gonna say I'm the bigger man. Good job, man. I was there watching and rooting for you.
I mean, I don't know anybody that wasn't watching.
I don't either, honestly. So I guess that's insane. Wow, that's a big number.
Man, there's a lot
We
of
all
people.
collectively watched a lot of shit that day.
Well,
That's
we
true.
all. I mean, legend has it that Judge is still thanking people. That's what I heard. So I don't,
I mean, he is. He's just sitting in his house, looking in the mirror, saying thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
freaking guy. All right,
I'd like to thank the garbage man who comes by my house every week.
right.
Takes out my garbage.
All right, we got
I'd
some.
also like to thank the people that collect the carts.
I'm
from
about to play the
local-
music, motherfucker. All right. We got some
Don't just talk over it like he did.
TV
Let's get loud.
shows and movie news. We
And
got.
I'd like to thank.
Hold on, let me mute Anthony in Discord real quick. Prime Video has confirmed a God of War series is coming, but it's based on new games. I don't like this at all.
disappointing.
I don't like that.
I
at
don't
all.
either.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little strange, I think.
I just don't like. Why does Sony hate their old shit? Like they hate their old shit so much that they won't even give you Kratos' origin story.
Right. Like, I think I maybe understand why they don't necessarily want to go shine stuff on those older games in the world of today. Because some of those games, I mean, you do a lot of stuff that would not be
But
as
that's
readily
what makes his
acceptable now.
But that's what makes
But
his
it's
character
still-
good.
Exactly, but that's what I was getting to. That's what makes his character. Like, he has to go through and do those things to become the man that everybody loves, that gives the longest thanking speech ever. Like, without that, how do you do that? Like, I don't understand.
And Hermes
It's going to be
deserved it.
flashbacks, and it's going to suck. What'd you say?
Hermes deserved it.
I don't think
Like,
that's what
Hermes
people
did
have
deserve
problem
it.
with. People have problem with the boobies. That's what they have a problem
That's
with.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, the boobies and
fucking who? Boo-hoo.
I mean, there was a button
I-
where you jam when he was sleeping with was it Hades'
off
wife?
screen.
Yeah, it was
Off-screen.
all off screen, but I mean, like
And
you know what's happening.
that's how I would do it in the show, because as much as it's like, yeah, he's having sex with people, and I guess you could say, well, I can't believe that's in a video game. I
Press
do
X
think
to bang.
artistically, but I do think artistically, the way that they show you what's happening, they turn the camera and you see like
the table shaking.
The
table
table
shaking and
and
stuff.
like the
It's
thing
like-
falls. Yeah,
That was
That's-
so like 14-year-old douchebag shit. It's so
Yeah,
dumb.
it
But
was.
I mean, the whole game is 14-year-old douchebag shit.
Fair.
Well, see, and I think
fair.
that's what their
That's
problem
what-
is. Because,
yeah, but
I
that's-
mean,
But that's
he had no mercy. Like, you killed everything. And he did, you know, because he was trying
was
to...
he wrong though?
He was not. If you look at it from his perspective, he was not. But I think Sony is just they don't want to shine a light on that. But I just don't know how you can
I don't
change up Kratos' origin to. I don't know.
I don't understand. So this was something I was thinking about. Like right now, sorry, I'm leaning back into the console worship, but I'm not trying to. Right now, like there's not much from Sony that I have interest in. There just isn't. God of War, it's only because I know the character and I want to see some conclusion with it. But it's like it's all serious. Like all of it is serious. And like my favorite current character that they have that they do nothing with is Astrobot because he's just fun. And it's like, yeah, Microsoft's not putting out anything, but they are being the arbiters of fun by just having shit on Game Pass. It's like, this is fun, play it. Okay.
You know, I don't think I actually thought about it from that. Is Horizon dark? Like, I haven't finished the sequel. Like, I'm like partway into it.
It's not a fucking fun ride necessarily.
Yeah, no, it's not. But it's not.
It's not.
Like,
Dark, it's not God of War.
dark.
It's
Yeah.
not like Last of Us dark.
It's
No,
dark.
no.
It's not dark
Okay.
in a sense of like there's dark thoughts, but it's like it's like oppressive. Like this is a
Yeah.
shitty world
I got
kind of
you.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Last
Okay.
of
Yeah,
Us,
it's-
God of War.
Well, and some of the stuff that you find out about the world before it gets pretty dark, but
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
like
that's the part
Okay.
where it's like,
yeah.
you know,
Okay.
honestly, it's weirdly enough, Horizon's one of the few games where I go, yeah, if you just didn't know about this other stuff, you'd live a far happier life.
Gotcha.
Not something I usually am like in agreement with, but it's like, yeah, this world's kind of shit, and it just seems to be shittier the more you pull back the curtain. So
Like, stop pulling that thread. Just leave it alone, and you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it
But yeah,
feels
so
like that's what it all is.
you know, like, and I get it, like, you know, they did try to bring Ratchet and Clank back, but it didn't, you know, light the world on fire. But I even those games I just don't think are as much fun as the older PS2 titles. Like the last of the PS3 titles were not, and the PS4 game, they weren't as fun. Like they want to make this more serious than it needs to be.
I miss, and I say this regularly, and this will come up later when we're talking about the PlayStation Plus stuff, but I miss lighthearted Sony. Like, I know we joke that every Sony game is the same, and it's bullshit. Like, those games are different.
is.
But they all have the same kind of, like, I want to be taken seriously instead of, like, let's just have some fun. Like,
Which is why Astrobot is so fucking great.
You know,
The
I haven't even
music's-
played that. Like, and I need to. I uninstalled it. Like, I need to actually mess with it because I never thought about. You're right. Like, that stuff is super serious and that's
And-
weird.
And I think my reviews show that for the most part, that's where I find more enjoyment. You know,
Yeah, but
Sonic
it's
and
a
all
lot
that
of-
stuff.
That's I think a consequence of video games' desire to be taken as seriously as cinema over the last 10 or 15 years. And if you look at the like even prestige television anymore, it's all
The
dark
same
and
stuff.
serious drama. It's kind of the, I don't know. I feel like, you know, we've had this conversation on the podcast before that video games spent from like the year probably, I don't know, 98 maybe until the mid 20-teens, trying their best to be taken seriously as media. And now that they're finally being taken seriously as media, it's kind of, I don't know. I think there's this sort of expectation that just like it's, I think of it the same way as I think of like movies that win Oscars, right? You watch a trailer on a movie and you're like, okay, that's an Oscar bait movie,
Yeah.
right? It's the same way here. Like, you look at the trailer for a AAA game and you can tell immediately if it's the kind of game that's going to be taken seriously or not. And, you know, I'm the type of person that enjoys stories like that. So it's been great for me because, you know, Spider-Man was phenomenal. Miles Morales was phenomenal. God of War, both of them were phenomenal. Both
You-
Horizon games were phenomenal. Like, but you know, I think the other consequence here is that comedy's not easy, and the games that have tried it haven't been that great.
True.
So it's just, I think it's a combination of sort of overall media that's taken seriously these days is all serious and dark, and comedy's really hard to do, especially in video games. So I think if people are going to invest the kind of money that it takes to build a game of that caliber, they're going to do what they think is going to be well received.
No, I totally understand.
As opposed to something like High on Life that takes the chance on being a comedy game, and look at sort of the reception to that game.
Yeah.
It hasn't exactly been universally well received.
No,
I will say this though, you make a good point with Spider-Man. That is one of the few games where I was like, oh, there's actual joy here.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
my
yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
That's my bigger thing. Is it's not that I need it to not be serious. I just need it to be not
Lighthearted
so
is
fucking serious. Like
Yeah.
God of War was dark, the originals, but there was like a video game whimsicalness to them. Like where these new games don't have that. Like we have
Character
to be
study.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like we have to be super serious. We can't have any kind of sex minigame, whatever. It's dumb. But it was like, oh, this is stupid dumb, like
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
It's like
thing.
High on Life. Like, I mean, yeah. Well, High on Life is to the extreme. but-
Yeah, High on Life is
Yakuza
kind of
has
like
a
the other
serious
side
story.
of the spectrum.
Yeah, because it has a serious story, and then you put a chicken in charge of real estate. So
Yeah, Yakuza
Yeah,
is a
I
really
understand
good
not
one.
wanting to do
Yeah.
that either.
Like it's just, I don't know. Sony feels like they've gotten away from that, and it depresses me because, like, I think back to when the PlayStation first came out, there were so many interesting, like, their palette was so much more diverse to me.
I want to say, and this is
Well,
me kind of defending a previous PlayStation, but like things changed and went far. Like when the PlayStation development moved from Japan to the US, this is the type of games they started focusing on. And listen, I'm not complaining about these games existing. I like outside of like the Naughty Dog stuff, which I've been clear that I don't like. I like Horizon. I like God of War.
Yeah, they're great
There's
games.
This isn't a. It's just like that's all that they seem to offer.
Yeah, and I
it's like,
never
no,
thought about
that's
that
not
till
my,
you said it.
Not my
It's-
jam.
That's so I don't disagree with you that that's the majority of the output, but they also released Ratchet and Clank, which wasn't like that,
No,
and
you're right.
nobody ever talks about it.
But
I think that's
Ratchet
depressing
and Clank,
because
the
that
last
game is
two-
great.
The last two, though, and actually even further than that, so the remake on PS4 and the final game on PS3, which was Into the Nexus, and even sort of before that, they really wanted to make that more serious. And it's like, I get it, comedy is hard, right? I'd rather you, though, at this point, like, try to make a joke, but like the amount of jokes in that remake of the original game was far, far less than what they had in the original. Like, it was like, who is this for? It's like, this isn't funny. Like, this isn't kind of wacky anymore. You're trying to make this a little bit more serious, but it's like, there were serious things that were happening. The point was that the characters aren't these miserable sad sacks, going through the galaxy and stopping evil. It was like they were somewhat optimistic hotheads that went around and didn't always agree, but came together to defeat capitalism. That's what the plot of the
definitely what
first
they
game
did.
is.
They also
And
got
it's-
like you notice it even on the surface where they stopped using the dirty puns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, there was no... They meet the plumber in the remake, and the original joke is, hey, look, plumber's crack. And he turns around and he goes, what'd you say? And he's like, hey, look, the plumber's back. And the plumber goes, yeah, sure. And, like, he gives you crap for it, but they meet the plumber in the remake, and that whole thing is just kind of not a non-humorous event. And it's just like, okay. And, like, I'm not upset about not having dirty puns for titles, but it does show you when they started moving away from that.
Yeah.
So
And like Ryan said, I don't hate those games. Like I really enjoy these new games.
I
Like,
love Ratchet
having
and
Horizon and having Spider-Man and God of War. Like that's all great. I just miss the counterbalance. That's my thing.
But then on the other end of things, like really, Microsoft's not the one that's putting it out. It's
No,
literally 'cause
Microsoft
they don't
is
have
shit.
anything. They
Microsoft
don't
is
have
shit.
anything, so you're playing stuff on Game Pass that they are highlighting because they don't have anything.
Yeah, this isn't an Xbox is doing it better because Xbox is doing shit. Like,
Right.
I just
It's just more. It's more obvious that it's there on Xbox because they don't have anything.
The one that's
forward.
doing the games that you're talking about is Nintendo.
I know, and I love it. I love it. I fucking
That's the reason why I go to Nintendo. That's the reason why I play Switch.
Yeah, but it's also why it's important that there are multiple consoles available so that we can have sort of diversity of games and themes and stuff like that. Because Nintendo's always going to prioritize the kind of games that you're talking about right now.
I want to be an internet. That's why you only need a gaming PC, a PlayStation, and a Nintendo. Xbox is useless.
There you go. Yep.
I know that's a character that you just put on, but if I had the option to strangle him, I would. Fucking with his own tongue. Ugh.
And also, hold on. Well, there's also this guy. Well, if you want to play Final Fantasy, just buy a PlayStation.
Ugh. Ugh.
Just you don't have $500, scrub. What's wrong with
Right.
you?
I took this conversation from like the God of War thing. It's just I don't know. It's like I miss all those PlayStation 2 franchises. I was thinking about it the other day. Like Sly Cooper, Jack was a little bit more serious, but Daxter kind of kept it lighthearted. But like I miss all those franchises, and there's nothing from them other than Ratchet and Clank, which just kind of lost itself.
The Jack series kind of had a good arc like that too, because it started off super light and stuff, right? And then by Jack 3, it was like you had guns and he was talking, and it was more serious.
They explain why that happens, and Jack 3 ends on a joke of all things.
Yeah, I like the
a
Jack
brilliant
series.
workup. Then they did Jack X, which was its own thing.
I didn't
But
play that one.
even the PSP games, Daxter, which obviously is going to be more funny, and Lost Legacy, I think is what it's called. No, it's something like that. Lost Frontier. It was still kind of that. Hey, there's a serious thing going on, but Daxter's gonna still crack wise. It's like, yeah, this is. I don't know. It's just all these franchises that have gone from PlayStation that I grew up loving. I think part of it was on my mind because people were like, you wouldn't criticize PlayStation. I have more love for PlayStation franchises than anything Xbox has ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just don't focus
that's
on
probably
any of
true
that
of most
stuff that
of
I
us.
made me
Yeah.
love that series. Like, I love Halo. We clearly aren't getting a good one of those anytime soon. Like, I like Infinite, but like Infinite, you see a lot of fucking grass. Do you like the map Valhalla? Because that's all you're getting.
I don't have a lot. Yeah, you're right. I don't have a lot of reverence for most of Xbox's franchises because, let's be fair, the ones that I do have reverence for used to be fucking Nintendo ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like, I like Fable.
I like
I like
Fable just
Fable.
fine.
Yeah, I like
but-
Fable.
Do I need Fable to come back? Is the question.
Fable has the
I
same
do.
problem, and Anthony, you and I have gotten into this argument before about Perfect Dark. Fable has the same problem as Perfect Dark, where since the last relevant entry, so many other games have done Fable better than Fable that I don't even know what it's coming back for.
Yeah, no, I understand.
There's
the Perfect
no
Dark thing now
yeah,
that you say it that
Well,
way. Yeah,
thanks,
like
Ryan. Now I
know
don't
if
want Fable. Damn it! I didn't
know.
even think about that.
Like,
That's
Fable,
so true.
Well, the good news with Fable is, what is the lore of Fable? Exactly. Just
that's my point.
you can do
it's-
kind of anything with it.
Yeah.
As long as it has some of the same mechanics, I think. Does it show your morality on your character? Can you get married? Can you buy houses?
You have
Like,
kids.
those are kind of the
Can you
key
do that type of
aspects.
stuff? Yeah.
And there's going to be some whimsical magic to go along with it, and I think you'll still get the Fable experience. But Ryan, you're right. Like, you're going to bring Joanna Dark back. You're either going to have to redo the whole thing, at that point, like, I love the original Perfect Dark, and that's kind of where it begins and ends.
I love Perfect Dark. I do.
I kind of hoping,
and it's because it's a great
they
science
turn into a
fiction
third-person shooter.
Sure. Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, if you're going to avoid that aspect of it, because that's what sells Perfect Dark for me. I guess spoilers on a 20-plus-year-old game now at this point, but like Perfect Dark, it starts off like you're just doing GoldenEye again, and then it gets fucking weird. And it's like, wow, no, this is not just weird, it's really fucking weird, because it just keeps going with the stuff that it's throwing at you, and it's like, holy shit. And some of the stuff it did was way ahead of its time, like Counter Operative, where somebody played a random character inside the single player mission.
Mm-hmm.
And then like full co-op and stuff. Like, there was some
But see,
really
that's
neat
where,
stuff.
go ahead.
But do I need a sequel, or do I just want you to remake the game better than it's already been remade for Xbox Live? And it's like, I don't know. I like the Xbox Live version. It kind of does a good job of it. I don't need a new. I want the story to continue, but I don't know how you do that at this point.
So if you want to know, this is just my opinion, but if you want to know why there's such an investment on the kind of stories that Sony invests in, it's because of exactly what you're describing. Because if I say, give me the lore behind God of War or Horizon or The Last of Us, any of us could rattle it off. And if I say, give me the lore behind Fable, nobody knows what the fuck to say. And so there's a reason.
So Ron, you plant a tree, and that tree.
Right. There's a reason that and Spider-Man's the same way, right? If I say, give me the core story behind Maximum Carnage on the Super Nintendo, like, we're not going to spend 30 minutes talking about that.
So there was a really bad comic book series.
the investment in that story is what makes not just those initial entries in the series, but the series overall attract more people every time it comes back, and it makes the sequels more successful, which is why the reason Halo stopped being cool is not just the multiplayer side getting outrun by a whole bunch of other people, but it's when the story went off the rails. That's when everybody stopped caring about it.
Yeah, ever since they lost the thread in Halo, I stopped caring about the story.
So that's why you see these AAA games focus so much on story and narrative and lore and characters, because that's what brings people back for sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel. So I'm the type of person that likes that kind of stuff, so it works out for me. But I think that's also probably why you started to see some of those PlayStation mascot games try to get story investment, because people were starting to not care about them anymore. And it unfortunately was not as successful for most of them. I would still love to see another Sly Cooper, but obviously Insomniac's moved on to Sucker Punch, has moved on to other things. So
even dropped Infamous.
I
know Infamous.
I was about
more
to say
serious,
Infamous, man.
It's just like all these things that you
superheroes are in. Like, Infamous could easily come back.
We're all ignoring the greatest video game tale of all time.
I swear to God, if you say Blasto,
fucking
wow.
Why has Conquer never had a sequel?
Yeah, so that's a game that definitely should have got a sequel.
It did.
But
on Spark. Come on.
Let's be.
Fuck you, Anthony. You go to hell and you die.
I mean, that's there's a man. It's hard to look at the last 20 years in gaming and not feel like Rare has been one of the most wasted purchases. Like, what have we really got out of them? That's high profile outside of Sea of Thieves.
Nothing.
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata was very big. I will give you that.
For a brief moment.
How long ago was Viva Pinata?
Oh, dude, it's been almost 20 years. It's going on 20 years.
No, it's been I think 15.
That's still too long.
It's almost too long.
Almost,
we're at Rare is at like Gran Turismo levels of game releases here.
Oh no.
Where's Everwild? Is that even coming? Did
Dude,
they
it
get
got
canceled?
rebooted. They rebooted it because they didn't like what it was. So
Terrence.
Wow.
You ask that question again, I'm legally obliged to put a pillow over your face and hold it there until you stop moving. Don't talk about Everwild.
Rare
I can never bring it up again, sir.
Rare kind of fell off right after Star Fox Adventures. Let's be fair. And while I don't like Sea of Thieves, I respect the hustle that they made that game, and it's doing as well as it is.
It's a great game, but
It is. Yeah.
It's not Rare.
They got a lot of franchises tied up at Rare that we're just not getting sequels to.
Yeah, like Microsoft wants catalog of games. Rare's IP library just fucking put people on those games. You got Conquer, you got Killer Instinct, which they did, and it was very successful, and then you just fucking dropped it.
You got Banjo, which their decision there was to make a goofy ass cart nuts and bolts
while
game.
I like that game, I can totally understand why people fucking hate that game.
The best
Like,
thing
that's-
Banjo's done in 20 years is fucking being Smash.
Smash.
Smash. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
See, that's why I
Yeah.
kind of think their next year, because I think they're going to put on their own show, and I don't.
We got
Whatever
that in the
with the
news.
Activision
We'll
thing.
talk about that in a minute.
I really,
So,
and
okay,
I don't
well,
want
I'm
this
just-
to.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't want this to be a bash Microsoft thing for me, but because I love my Xbox, but I really, if we could go back in time and adjust something from a video game standpoint, I wish Nintendo would have bought Rare instead of Microsoft.
Well, didn't they own
Yeah.
them? Didn't Microsoft buy them from Nintendo?
No, they were third party and they were up for sale. Nintendo passed on it.
Ah, okay. I thought they were
Yeah.
in-house Nintendo, and they
They're-
bought
that-
I
from
just
them.
feel like we would have gotten some entries in some
Oh, we
Rare
would've.
series that I care about. If they
Yeah.
even Conquer, probably we would have got from Nintendo.
Just to have a mature title, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do Bayonetta and stuff. I mean, they have other mature.
But
we
I
definitely would
mean,
have got a Conquer.
in the interim between now co-publishing Bayonetta, what was their mature title? Geist? Eternal Darkness?
Eternal Darkness. Yeah.
That's it,
Eternal
man.
Darkness.
Like, those are the
Yeah.
two I can think
Resident
of.
Evil 4. That was
didn't-
only on the
That was
GameCube.
Capcom.
Oh,
That
they
was
didn't do
Capcom,
that.
They
and
didn't
it was
publish
only
that.
for a couple, and that was
But
only
they-
for like 4 months. It was when that game printed. It had already been announced for PS2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just I don't know. My hope is that this that next year for Xbox we start to get some theories that will actually stand the test of time, and I hope Starfield is great and spawns sequels and stuff, and I hope that some of the other stuff they've got coming next year is actually good. I'm really interested in that Obsidian. What's the Obsidian first-person
Avowed.
RPG?
Avowed.
Yeah, that
man.
one looks
Me
awesome.
too.
So hopefully they can get it under control here.
I mean, we can kind of
Well-
with snowball into this conversation. The rumor is that Microsoft has an event early in 2023, and you're right. I said this on Twitter. The good faith that Xbox fans have is gone.
At this point, yes.
After 2022, you had don't bring up Pentiment, don't bring up As Dust Falls. Fuck you. You had
That's Dustfall.
nothing.
Oh yeah.
Can we
that-
talk
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Can they bring up Grounded though?
No, that game's been in early access for 2 years.
And as much as it's not my jam, and I don't love it, but I appreciate it being there. It is just another one of those.
Yeah, it's a good one
Yeah.
of those, but it's
It's
just
a good
Yeah.
one of those, but it's another one of those.
it's not.
Like,
I hate
that's
to.
not
I hate
an
to.
experience.
I hate to take
locked
us back to
the Xbox.
1996, but it is not a system seller.
No, wow. Dang. Yeah. Okay.
It is not.
It's
What
not.
makes,
You're right.
What makes me want to play that over literally any other survival game?
Yeah, there's like 6,000 of those
The-
on
the-
Steam
the
a
theme.
week. You know.
The theme, that's it.
I mean, there's like
you can-
6,000 on Game Pass right now. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. There's a
Yeah,
lot of those
true.
survivals on Game Pass. But
Like-
no, that's what I was going to say. So if they have a show, my hope for them, because my goodwill, again, I love my Xbox. It's my primary system.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Jesus. My hope, to tie in what we were saying before, is that, yeah, they have all these different studios and Rare has all these different franchises that they now own and stuff too. Maybe they'll start divvying that out because they have more than enough manpower, even if they're going to like reboot stuff and have brand new stuff, like now they can spread the wealth. So maybe this show that's rumored will be 2 hours long of shit that we ain't even heard about yet. Like we ain't gonna show you nothing that y'all think you know.
You want to know how little faith I have in Microsoft right now? They couldn't hit the fucking the softball off the tee of getting GoldenEye out for 2022.
Yeah, what happened to that? Has anybody said
They
what
ain't
happened
said
to that?
I am legally obligated to put.
But can we still? But can we say that because it's only December 18th? We
It
can't
ain't
say that
coming
till
out.
January.
It ain't
You
coming
gotta
out.
wait.
It ain't coming
It might.
Oh, okay, so when it hits January 1st, the first message you're getting is not Happy New Year, Terrence. It's where the fuck is my GoldenEye?
I hope that's what it is.
That is like the easiest PR
It is.
win.
You're right.
Softball off the tee. We gave you something you've been asking for years, and they couldn't even do that.
Is the Switch one already out?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So none of them. Okay.
No, nothing is out. Nothing has been announced. They never put a date on it. When they announced it 2 months ago, they said, coming soon. Soon,
Yeah, I
my
remember that.
ass. 2 months is not
They're
soon.
talking soon. They're talking soon in the relative sense because when we all look at the history of the Earth, we are but like a mere blip on the
Motherfucker,
timeline.
I'm in
sure
video
They're
that's
just
games.
saying when that.
Coming soon means this year. You know, when you
Coming
announce it in
soon
fucking
means-
Coming
September.
soon means before the
Life.
heat death of the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
What the fuck is going on? All right, let's move on. We'll bash Xbox some more later because I got more shit to say. The next movie, Death Stranding movie, is coming.
Why? Death Stranding. I haven't finished
Death
Death Stranding,
Stranding-
as we all know, but it
Death
already
Stranding is
feels like a
great.
movie.
So this is where my frustration with Sony comes in, because I don't know why they think every single one of their properties has to be a fucking television show or a movie.
Dude, we got Twisted
Yeah.
Metal coming with Anthony Mackie.
I know. Although that also has Samoa Joe in it, which is awesome.
But,
You know
but
what?
like you
Twisted
care.
Metal.
Twisted Metal is a TV show, but you won't make a fucking game? Like, what?
Yeah. But you know what though? Maybe so the Death Stranding thing, and I guess all their properties could work if they didn't try to rehash what the games do. So if
Yeah,
Death Stranding
Horizon's
is just a
doing the
story
same
of somebody,
thing. Horizon's doing the
I
same
didn't
thing.
know
It's
that.
just a telling of the
Yeah,
game
it's just
story.
a story.
yeah, that's bad. Because I didn't see the Uncharted movie, but I heard it like mishmashed a bunch of stuff from a bunch of the games and put
Yeah.
it into the movie.
That's what it
Yeah,
is. It's
why
not-
not just
dude, I
have told
forgot.
a different?
I forgot all
Yeah.
about that
stars,
movie.
it stars
wasn't good.
Tom Holland as Tom Holland. I'm tired of him.
Yeah.
No offense, not saying he's a bad actor. He's not. It's just one of those things where it's like, I got it. You've made this person a star. But like Mark Wahlberg, who also is in this, I don't need to see him in everything. I just don't.
No.
Yeah.
That Uncharted movie was so forgettable. I watched it and I'm like, okay, that was neat, and then I forgot about it.
Nice.
Like, I don't even care. Like, I remember the games better than I do the movie, and the movie was only 2. Like, with Death Stranding,
I
how do
don't
you
know.
fit that story into 2 hours?
I don't know
That's
how
what-
you're
yeah.
going to do a Last of Us TV show.
Well, it's out in January, so we'll know soon.
See, and that's the other thing. Like, why? Because I see the internet all ablaze because Bella Ramsey don't look like Ellie or whatever. And I'm like, well, why didn't they
But that
just
was-
tell a different story in that
That's
universe?
just my point, right? Like, Pedro Pascal is a great actor. I don't know the girl that's playing Ellie. I apologize.
She's in Game of Thrones. It's Bella Ramsey.
Okay, well, I
That's
didn't
where
watch.
know
I
her
didn't.
from.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones except for the final episode.
Oh, she's good. I
where
like her.
laughed
She's
at my
good.
friends for liking it.
The primary difference, by the way, between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland is that, as far as I'm aware, Tom Holland never permanently blinded someone in a racist attack. So
That is true. He also didn't have a hit single.
Music for the people.
Mark
Okay?
Wahlberg blinded somebody at a
Yes,
racist? Holy
if-
crap!
An Asian
if
man.
it were
yeah.
you, I would look up Mark Wahlberg on Wikipedia. And
I'm
just
going
read.
to. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Anthony.
Man, yeah, that. Yeah, he's not a good person. Yeah, so like, I just don't get it because it's like you're always going to fight the battle of what is better. Like, not criticizing Tom Holland's acting ability, but like, he's never going to be Nathan Drake. because we have an idea of what Nathan Drake should look like, what he should sound like. Even younger Nathan Drake, right? Like, that's my issue with trying to do these adaptations. They rarely work because, like, you have an established idea of what this character should be that isn't just written. It's not a comic book character, right? Where you the source material is writing. So no matter how you draw the character, like you've established a tone for that character in your head.
Yeah.
And so you have a little bit more freedom with how you adapt that. Because honestly, Iron Man in the movie is very different than Iron Man, or was very different from Iron Man in the comic. They've since sort of brought the Iron Man comics closer to the movie, because Robert Downey Jr. kind of redefined the character. Same with Wolverine. You know, these are written characters, even though they have images next to them. Like, I have a visual, I have a voice, and I can kind of control the character, right? And you're going to be like, and now this is the character in the show. And it's like, well, it doesn't look like him, it doesn't sound like him, and I don't have control over him, so he doesn't act the way I would act as Nathan Drake, as Joel, etc. And it's just like, you're setting yourself up for failure. Max Payne, also starring Mark Wahlberg.
And Mila Kunis.
That's a terrible, terrible fucking movie.
That movie's all about
Why
drugs.
was Ludacris Jim Bravara? Like, why? What? Like, did that movie? Anyway, go ahead.
But that's the reason why video game adaptations generally suck. Like Sonic, they didn't just do a song. Like, Sonic's a weird scenario where he's a cartoon. He's not a realistic person, right?
Mm-hmm.
A realistic character. So they just popped him in the real world. They redesigned him, thankfully. And it's like, they made a kid's movie out of it. There's a little bit more freedom there. So as long as he kind of acts like what Sonic has acted like in other media, we're kind of a little safer.
That's
even though I'm not a huge fan of Chris Pratt, like, the fact that, like, the Mario movie still looks amazing tells me, like, they understand what they're trying to adapt, but it's a fucking cartoon, so it's a little bit easier. Put that into real life, and you get the Mario Brothers movie, which is a thing.
I don't know. This is shit that, like, when I was 13, 14 years old, I would have killed to have all these video games being made into TV shows and movies, and now in my old age ass, I'm like, why?
Yep.
Yeah, I already played through the game. I already saw the story. I don't need to sit through a 15-hour miniseries about it.
And I think Last of Us and Death Stranding and all these other things, there's a lot of side stories.
Yes.
Side stories.
It's a big
world in
world.
that universe. Horizon.
Yeah.
Horizon's got this huge fucking, like, history that you can do in such interesting ways, and they're gonna show you Halo. The Halo television show is the one that was out, right? And it's not good.
I need to finish that. I've only seen
the
first two episodes.
Yeah, I only watched 2 episodes.
Well,
and I was like, this is not great.
It's that's why, you know, like the Witcher series worked and works, in my opinion, and Game of Thrones worked because they were books, right? Yeah. They weren't previously, to Anthony's point, visual properties.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd much rather get some, like a Dritz series.
God,
I'd much rather get some.
Why is there no Dritz anything?
I know they're making a D&D movie.
Yeah, with Chris Pine, right?
And I can't believe it actually looks pretty good.
I just hope Dritz shows
they already
up.
made it.
And my man,
but
that's just it, right?
Like,
get a spinoff
with Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, with Marlon Wayans.
We don't talk about those.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons. I couldn't think of his name.
Jeremy Irons at least understood the subject matter.
The assignment. Yeah.
This is fucking D&D. Just go camp. The rest of it is terrible.
All right, we only been through 2 news stories. Let's fucking move on.
Go ahead.
The rest of them I probably don't care about.
Spider-Man 2 launching fall 2023 confirmed.
Cool.
It's exciting.
Yay.
That'll be a good
Can't
video
wait
game.
for that.
Yep, 2023 is going to be off the chain. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm excited for their take on Venom.
Man, 2023.
Yeah. Oh man, they got Tony Todd to do the voice. Man, that's gonna be fucking incredible.
I hope they use the Venom theme from the movie Venom, which is called Venom by Eminem.
The Eminem song.
Oh, it's terrible.
New Genesis games on Nintendo Switch Online. We got Alien Storm, which is a beat 'em up. We got Virtua Fighter 2, the Genesis port, which was very bad. Columns, finally. And what was the last one? There was 4. Why is
That Virtua Fighter 2 port, whoever keeps... There has to be dirt on somebody. There's no reason why that should be reissued.
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even fathom what a Virtua Fighter port would look
It's
like.
a 2D
about-
fighter.
on the
It's a 2D
about-
fighter, but because it doesn't, because it's Virtua Fighter, it has no special moves really, right? Like there's no like fireballs or shit like that. So just take like a fighter that was good because it was 3D, make it
Golden
completely
Axe 2.
2-dimensional, and it's terrible.
Golden Axe 2 was the other game. Sorry.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Also, they
Virtua
own. They
Fighter,
have
wow.
this. They have the source code, by the way, for Virtua Fighter 2 still. Like they did a PS2 port, and then they ported that to like 360 and PS3. So there's zero reason why they couldn't port it to modern consoles.
I still have Virtua Fighter 2 on my 360.
It's a good game.
So I can play it on my Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I have
I
it.
was never good at the Virtua Fighter games. I don't
The
know
Virtua Fighter
what
2
about its
soundtrack.
system never clicked with me.
All right,
Virtua Fighter 2 soundtrack is.
this was weird. So the next Tomb Raider game, Crystal Dynamics has confirmed some details about it. It is single player, it's multi-platform, and it's published by Amazon.
Okay.
What? What?
Well, Amazon does have an MMO. Like they're trying to get into the gaming space.
But Crystal Dynamics is owned by Embracer.
Yeah,
Amazon
I've given
about
up
to buy
trying to
Embracer?
understand any of this.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I don't know.
Just publish under the THQ license, right? Like I don't get it.
I don't know. Epic has decided to shut off a bunch of game servers. Some of these you can understand. 1,000 tiny claws. Okay. Dance Central 1 through 3. Who's playing that? Green Day Rock Band. Okay. Beatles Rock Band 1 through 3. Nobody's playing those anymore. Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. The prequel to Rocket League. Okay. But they're also shutting off the servers for all of the Unreal games. Like, what?
I didn't realize that.
Unreal Tournament Game of the Year, Unreal Tournament 2, Unreal 2, The Awakening, Unreal Tournament 3, Unreal Tournament 2003, and Unreal Tournament 2004, all going offline.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know, man. What?
We gotta cut costs where we can.
But
That's what it is.
why even call it the Unreal Engine anymore? Call it the Fortnite engine. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's do that. It's not
That's
Unreal.
true.
It's Fortnite. All right. Xbox is rumored to be looking into ad-supported tiers of Game Pass to make it cheaper. Which I guess, that's what the streaming services do now, right? So it would make sense, I suppose. Like before you play High on Life, you got to watch a commercial for Space Applebee's. That's fine.
Yeah. Space Applebee's.
Y'all
Nice,
ain't made it
yeah.
to that part in the game yet. I take it. So
I have not, but wow. Okay.
there's literally a Space Applebee's, and you can sit down and order an appetizer. Just
No, my favorite part was the people that were saying they weren't paid to advertise, but then they go into high detail of the company that owns the company that they're mentioning. I can't remember what the product was, though, unfortunately, but it was like something in the side that you just stumble upon.
I got 3 more news stories. Two about Xbox, one about PlayStation. This is where I'm gonna, before I get into ripping on PlayStation, that'll be the coup de grace. Let's rip on Xbox a couple more. So Capcom announced Battle Network, Mega Man Battle Network is coming. The collection will be out in April. Not coming to Xbox. And this is a theme. This is a theme. I'm going to continue this with my next story. This is a theme. Final Fantasy Pixel remasters have been announced for consoles. Switch, PlayStation 4. No Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
I
is just
read that.
silly. Like,
It is.
What the fuck is going on at Xbox that they are not getting these games? Like, what is happening?
I think Sony is paying them to not
But
put
why?
them on there
But why pay to keep it off Xbox but not Switch?
because Nintendo is their friend. I don't know.
Sony ain't got no
I-
friends.
It does seem like it at this point.
Yeah, no, that it's one thing to pay for like something far bigger than this, but then these are not.
Who pays for
just
exclusivity
petty.
of Mega Man Battle Network?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
Oh, wait,
it
is
just
the
looks like it's
Battle
petty.
Battle Network's not coming to Xbox either?
No, Battle
Yeah.
Network is not coming to Xbox.
The other collections came, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's messed up, man.
I wanted the Battle Network collection.
I buy all those all my Mega Man collections are on Switch.
All of
so-
mine are on Xbox, so now I'm
Good call. Play it on the
you
go.
know, my fucking ADD now will not let me buy this one. 'Cause it's not on Xbox,
that's-
so
That's
like,
not ADD.
whatever. You know what I meant.
Yeah, you were talking about obsessive
My
compulsive
obsessive-
disorder,
yeah,
which
my
you
OCD.
definitely do.
My
have.
OCD will not allow me to buy this collection now because I can't own it on the system where all of... I even own that shitty fucking X Collection 2 with the fucking PS2 games, which are terrible. Oh.
That came free with when I bought my physical copy on PS4.
That collection is
Nice.
just like if you shit in a box, that's what it is. Those games are bad.
Jesus.
Was it X8 and X9? Like those were really bad.
Didn't include a command mission, unfortunately.
Ugh. But now I can't complete the Mega Man saga.
You even like Battle Network?
As much as I hate the Legends games, if they put that on Xbox, I'd still buy it.
No.
You bet damn well better.
I mean,
right.
I wouldn't play
Especially
them.
if they updated the controls.
I wouldn't play them because they're terrible games, but I would still buy it.
No, they're terrible controlling games.
They're not terrible
They're
games.
terrible games. I'm just,
This is the motherfucker who fucking's like, hey, why don't we play that stupid fucking fighting game on Genesis because it's got all the kills in it. So
No, it's on
fucking-
Sega CD. The Genesis
man.
version doesn't have the kills. Okay.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
watched
Hold
those
on, let me not
kills.
give a shit about my...
Those
The
kills
kills
are
are great.
awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
well,
fucking game
congratulations.
sucks.
You've seen everything you need to see about Eternal Champions.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
fine.
alright.
You know
Then
what?
I'm good.
I'm not the person that says it's a good game. I said I like
You
it.
absolutely have!
No, I never
You
said it was a good
absolutely
game.
have.
I said I like the game. I didn't say it was good.
He likes the fact that one guy shoots a laser in space for some odd
Fucking
reason
right,
on the
man.
cover.
Motherfucker, I play War Gods. Don't come at me, bro.
Oof.
Whoa. Whoa. Don't get crazy
Oh.
now. Hold on there.
Oh, he'll be like, guys, I play War Gods. I'm not saying it's a good game, but you played it.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
fucking-
I mean,
I just turn it on sometimes to relive the good old days of what, shoveling shit.
yeah,
Get the fuck
I
outta here.
like those games. I mean, people still play Shenmue. I don't know, whatever. You know, you want to play shitty games? That's fine. I don't care. Ryan lives
Hey.
on shitty games. He likes 2 Human.
That's true. I love
I
I
shitty
mean,
games.
and
Hold on now,
somebody
hold
is
on
going
now.
to be playing Skull and Bones. So there's that. I mean, somebody paid for Skull and
no.
Bones.
Y'all
So-
ain't got nothing.
Not
Everybody's
me.
got
No,
their
not me.
shit.
Why would you-
Not me.
Why would you
Listen to me.
throw yourself in front of...
I'm not buying it. I did not buy it. Not me. I'm saying that somebody else that's
He'll-
not
he'll
me
be playing
will be
it.
playing it.
He'll be
Terrence,
playing.
are you going to play it again?
No.
Yeah, you
no.
will.
All right.
Maybe.
All right.
If it gets...
No, hold
Yeah,
on. You can't just
If there, okay, wait.
He just
If there's a demo...
He push hard. He's just like, maybe.
if there's a demo, I will check it out to see if it got
Oh
fixed.
my
But I'm not
God.
going to buy that game. Okay, go ahead.
We'll
You
get a
know,
review
think about
copy, and he'll be
playing
like,
Overwatch
"Can
too,
I?
so what
Can I
can we
get
say?
that? Can I get that?
Nope.
review copy?"
Nope. And now I have to not do that on principle now because it's, you don't just give Anthony ammo. But all right, go ahead.
We all play well, 3 of us play Overwatch too. So what
That's
can we
true.
really
Yeah.
say?
So I mean, right. And we keep going back to that abuse.
Yeah, but at least that's fun, though. You know, like
No,
that game is
moment
fun.
to moment, it's fun.
That's
but
what
when
I
you
mean.
start
The
thinking
moment to
about it,
moment
it-
is fun.
With a modicum of like brain, you're like, oh, I'm thinking about this. Oh, I don't like this anymore. That's what happens. As long as you turn your brain off, you're like, you're fine.
Yeah, you
Good
know,
times.
truthfully, I've gotten to the point where I only like playing when there's at least like 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah.
If I play by myself,
rest
it's
of
just
us.
I might as well be like, I don't know, beating my head against the wall.
Yeah, I don't play by myself. I only play with y'all. Like nope.
I mean, I played by myself for like 4 years. So,
Well, yeah, I got you.
all right, last news story. Let's do this. PlayStation Plus catalog for December. So we got our extra and PP. Once again, extra, incredible. We got WWE 2K22. Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, Far Cry Primal. It's like the fucking Ubisoft collection. Mortal
Damn.
Shell, Judgment, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, and Middle Earth Shadow of War. The
Fantastic
Pedestrian,
games.
The Pedestrian, Evil Genius 2, Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion, Ben 10 Power Trip, Gigantosaurus the Game, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Worms WMD, The Escapists 2. Those are your extra games.
That's a great
dope
lineup.
list.
Yep.
Man.
Great collection
That's
of games.
That's the mid tier, right?
Yes, that is extra. That is the middle.
All right, now hit me with the painful. Why are you paying more for this list?
So the premium, that big fat tier at the top where you're getting all the classics. We got Pinball Heroes for the PSP, Oddworld Abe's Exodus for the PS1. We finally got a PS1 game. Heavenly Sword for the PS3, which is streaming, by the way.
Yeah, I would not want to play that game streaming.
And finally, the only good game, Ridge Racer 2 for the PlayStation Portable. I'm excited for that, but at this point, I feel like a starving man in the desert getting some saltines.
Yeah,
This is the best crack I ever had.
that was good. That's about what it sounds like. Like the mid tier list is fire. That's a lot of good stuff on there. The PP.
How do you
Damn.
fuck up?
The mid tier is a great, the great equivalent to Game Pass, but that extra tier just sounds like shit.
How did you fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, you have not even... So, when did this thing launch? In June? July? Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, summer.
You have not even matched the quality, and I'm using finger quotes when I say the word quality, the quality of the PlayStation Mini. How? How do you fuck this up? You have to make an effort to be this terrible. Like, this doesn't just happen.
It don't make. Didn't the Oddworld game get remade or remastered or something? Like,
Yeah,
is there a new one of
there's-
that that's like?
Remade, that was Oddworld. Fuck me, I don't remember which one it is. There's two of them. Soulstorm was the sequel remade.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what it was.
They also
okay.
HDified Stranger's Wrath and Munch's
Yeah.
Odyssey and like a bunch of other stuff. But I mean, we got literally the second Oddworld game for PS. That's the only PS1 game we got this month.
Yeah, like that. What?
There
Out
are
of
total-
bajillion?
There are a total of 15 PS1 games on PP right now. 15.
Can y'all put Legend of Dragoon? Was
Nope.
that the one that
Not
Man.
on there.
that was so good.
Dude,
4 discs.
Gran Turismo and Metal Gear Solid are not even on PP.
That's wild. That Metal Gear Solid's not on there. I mean, is the Silent Hill
Resident
on there?
Evil.
No.
Gran Turismo.
None of the songs from fucking Eiffel 65 are in the PP collection.
Yeah.
Because they say Tekken 3, not Tekken 2. Tekken 2's on
That's
there,
right.
but Tekken 3's not.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, Mega
Tekken 3's my
Boost.
favorite one.
Gran Turismo.
He actually had a
Mega
badass purple coat.
Boost.
Bloody Roar.
Raw. X-Files of
I don't know why they picked X-Files. The
I don't
FMV game. Like, what?
all of the world. Come on.
That song is fire, though. Come on.
Onward. Winning 11. Really?
I'm kidding.
Play on my PlayStation.
That song is terrible. What are you talking about?
Dude, that whole song and that album is like
Trash?
just pure camp. Yeah.
Ugh.
You like an ironic enjoyment out of it.
I don't know how. I don't understand. I do understand they don't care. But like, you're selling this. This is a product.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Honestly, I think it would have been a better look to have just the extra tier PlayStation Plus for the time being, the mid tier or whatever, have that be the highest tier, and then once you had like more games ready to go,
But like,
announce this tier and start dripping them out month by month.
how? Like, how do you not have this? Like, anything can run a PS1 game.
Yeah. I mean, yes. That's the question. It's more of like, are they trying to add the achievements like they did?
No,
with,
they don't even do it to every game.
I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
They have not.
I don't know.
They have not released one PS2 game that was not in that PS2 on PS4 collection. Not one. Not one. All the PS3 games have been removed from now and re-added to PP over time. They haven't added any new ones. They just took a bunch off when they changed the service over and then added them back in.
I've been in love PlayStation now because it wasn't for me. But why would you do that to customers?
Because nobody. Did you realize? And I get this. This is pure marketing genius. Nobody knew that PlayStation now had these games because when they put the Slide Collection back on, everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can finally play it again." Motherfucker, it'd been on now for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I see.
Nobody gave a shit about now.
Exactly, you're right, and
but-
that's why they can get away with it because nobody was paying attention. But the Sly Cooper collection is literally the same thing, though. Like if it was native, I give them credit, but it's not. It's still all PS3 games are streaming, and it's not even good streaming. Like it's not.
I'll give them PlayStation 3 because they did some weird shit, the core processor and all that crap. But PS2 at this point, I'm like, okay, bring that shit back. Like, there's so much there. Like, I'm not being like, oh, there's so much, like, literally thousands of games.
Yeah, PS2 is considered.
And I'm not
by
saying bring
many
all the
that-
thousands of games back. There's probably a ton of shit that you would never want to play again. But
The greatest console. Yeah.
Yeah, like the PS2 is considered what, best console of all time by a lot of people.
is it still the highest selling?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it's at like 120 million or some shit like it, some crazy shit. Like
I would play the bouncer. I would play it right now.
Oh.
See, you know what? Y'all can't. Nah, you don't give a shit about Eternal Champions, but you're gonna champion the bouncer. Get the fuck out of here.
I was being sarcastic.
You were
There's
being
plenty of
sarcastic.
other
Don't
great
fail from this
games
now.
on Play. No, I didn't. I was hyped for the bouncer, but then I got it and put it in, and I was like, "This game is terrible."
PlayStation 2 is the highest selling console at over 155 million.
Yeah, I
And
knew
then
it
the
was
Wii
like,
is next, right?
yeah.
No, not even. DS.
I wasn't counting
Right.
portables and
So
stuff.
if we avoid the portables, we've got PlayStation 4 at number 2.
Oh, wow.
117.2 million. Switch at 114.33 million.
Jesus already. God
PlayStation
damn.
at 102.49 million. Wii at 101.63
Wow.
million. And I think the thing is that the Wii was the fastest selling.
I mean,
To up a certain point.
Nintendo and Sony dominate the. That's just a lot of console. I can't
Then-
believe the Switch is already at 114 million after 6 years. That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
PlayStation 3, 80, it's greater than, but I don't know by how much. 87.4 million, and then 360 at 84 million.
Yeah, that's the only Xbox console that did any damage. Although the series is doing really well. So
Let's see here. Scrolling down. PlayStation 5. I'm not at. Don't know what number it would be, but 25 million.
that sounds
Series
right.
X and S, 12 million at an estimate,
I didn't think that was
which
that
is
low.
less than the Wii U.
I think that's wrong.
You can't buy them. Some people can see them. They're doing a terrible job of getting this all over. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
but if you're
online
going to tell
sales,
me,
but
if
what
you're
I'm
going to tell
saying-
me, no, see, that's where I disagree because you're not going to tell me that Sony has produced double what Xbox has.
I absolutely can believe that.
No, I don't believe that for a second because I think they're pretty even in what they've produced. I do believe PlayStation 5 has outsold it. I don't believe it's double. I don't believe it's double at all.
I do. I do 100%. All right. I know more people that have PlayStation 5s than I do Xbox. And that's fine. But like, I have not seen either in stores.
I
At
see
all.
S all the time. I could buy an
Yeah,
S
I've
right
seen
now.
the
if I
S.
wanted an S.
Yeah,
I've
I've seen the
seen
S's at store.
One S in stores.
I could go online right now and buy 10 S's if I wanted. That shit
That's-
ain't hard
but-
to get.
But then it's not selling, right? Like,
Well, everybody wants the big boy. Like the people that are early adopt. Well, I guess we can't call it early anymore because it's fucking 2 years. but still.
and that's where the problem lies, is that you can't just walk into a store and have the thing immediately, and that's how most people buy stuff. And at this point, if I'm going to have to wait, what am I going to wait on? And it's probably going to be a PlayStation 5 for most people. So you can't go into either store, and you've now... And if you go into a store, right, like you go into your Walmart, who's likely downsized the amount of video games they carry anyways, Switch cabinet's full on one side of the consoles and all the accessories or whatever, and video games, lots of video games. PlayStation, lots of video games, lots of accessories, no consoles. Xbox, tons of accessories, next to no games, no consoles.
Because that's all they make is fucking controllers.
So it's like, yeah, I can
And
totally
Cokes for
believe
them.
that they've sold
Refrigerators.
more, and I have a feeling that like when you aren't selling as many, you don't make as much.
Fucking Xbox. What the fuck are you doing? You fucking... Oh, God. 2022 is the year I want to punch somebody in the face at Xbox.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe Phil was looking so pissed off at the award show, not because they wasn't up there, but maybe he was like, man, I know we got so much fucking stuff to show and I can't show none of it. Like, maybe that's why he was so pissed off.
Why can't he show
Because
the Game Awards?
I don't know, some
It's-
contract or something. I don't know.
I'm getting fucking sued is what that was.
That probably was. 'Cause I think
That's
that happened like
what
that
was.
morning.
The fucking
And then it's just
FTC.
like-
Fuck you.
And then it's like an ad comes up. It's like world exclusive, although I didn't have the voice guy. And then they're like, PlayStation. And you're like, he's probably like, motherfucker.
He probably is. All that stuff. He was like, damn it. They got...
I mean, I can't blame the man for being mad because, like, every time Sony's like, well, Microsoft did this thing, but we did it too, like 10 times over.
Right.
I get the anger, but it's like Microsoft can't do anything because people look at, like, the FTC looks at Microsoft like, these are motherfuckers that own everything. They're bad people. I'm like, they all bad people.
All of them. All of them.
Like, you over there taking, like, talking points from the guys who do this shit too. Like, come on, man. That's like McDonald's fucking making it so Burger King can't make a burger anymore or some shit. They're all bad people.
Yep.
Stop it. Anyway. Whew. Man, this is Nintendo over here like, y'all ain't mad at us at all. I like this show.
Right.
I just want fucking
Nintendo
games
send
that
us
I can
free stuff.
play.
Nintendo's like, we ain't sending you shit. We know you want our shit.
I just want games I can fucking play already.
Microsoft
And
spends
where
so
I don't
much
get
money.
motherfucked by buying the PlayStation 4 version and then them being like, well, the DLC, it's doing some things.
I
You
can't
can't
believe
do
the DLC for Horizon's only on PlayStation 5. That's so fucking
I'm just not finishing that game at this point. I just don't care enough. I wasn't having as much fun as the first game already because I didn't feel that the combat was as good. Maybe it's because the new monsters actively just had bigger pains in the asses. But it's like, well, then I like knowing that clearly there's more story that I just can't play now at this point. I'm like, fuck it, I'm done.
All right, we got an email from Blue Skies, and the email is titled, "The Judge is Still Talking."
I told y'all. Legend has it.
He says, hey all, I just wanted to write in and say, I too have my Xbox 360 hookup. That's my brother in Christ. That's what I'm talking about. When I got my Series...
Just quickly, what the fuck was Drew complaining about with that last week?
Yeah,
I know I
he
called
was...
you all old for talking about CDs and cassettes and shit, but like, that was the weirdest part of that whole thing.
When the motherfucker
like,
still has
he was
his
like,
Wii U hooked up.
Yeah, his Wii U and his PS3. Okay.
But he's going to give me shit
Hook
about
up
having
your
a
Xbox
360 hookup.
360.
Like,
My
what?
360 is hooked up into the back of my Xbox One.
That's
Just
fucked
switch
up.
over.
That's fucked up. I don't know how you play with that lag. That lag is terrible.
I don't notice it.
Are you like Wombat? Like he's like can't tell
No,
the
I
difference
don't
between
notice it
30 and
'cause
60.
maybe mine doesn't suck.
The fact that
I
that
would-
man can't notice the difference between 30 and 60, get your ass checked. Something is wrong,
Get your
sir.
ass-
Well, so I actually I have a brain problem connected to my eyes, so it could be related to that.
I don't
How
think.
dare you?
I don't
But
think.
You ableist piece of shit.
I don't
Terrence.
think. I don't.
Make fun of Wombat like that.
I don't think
Well,
your
now
ass
you-
is where you see the frames per second, Terrence. of the
Probably
game.
not.
Where-
He says, when I got my Series X, I packed my Xbox One away. Well, that's smart because you don't need it anymore. As there are only 632 out of the 2,156 Xbox 360 games playable on the Xbox One and Series X. There are a lot of original 360 games that you can only play or a lot of original Xbox games and 360 games that you can only play on the 360. Some of my favorites include 007 Legends, 007 Bloodstone, Quantum of Solace, Blur, Blitz the League, Condemned 2, Serious Sam Collection, Dark Sector, Called Seb Saga, and hundreds of others. So a great
Hey,
reason to keep it hooked up.
Condemned was made backwards
The
compatible.
first
right?
one.
The first
And
one.
then
Not
the
the
second
second
one
one.
wasn't. What a dumb,
Yeah.
stupid fucking thing.
Also, the reason Microsoft showed absolutely nothing at the Game Awards is pretty obvious. You all lightly touched on it, is that they want zero ammunition for Sony and the FTC. By not releasing much this year and not really showing anything either, and nothing at TGA, they ensure there is no buzz about how many games will be coming out and how great they will be.
Yeah, but so how does that help the people that own an Xbox?
That's
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Forget the people owning an Xbox. Why the fuck would you buy an Xbox for your kid for Christmas?
But then that also is just going to keep it out of the public argument, because even if they don't show it and hype up the public, they still will have to reveal whatever they have coming out. It'll just be redacted in
Yeah,
court
I mean
papers.
the notion that the FTC can only find out about what Xbox has in production by watching the Game Awards
Yeah.
is just it's not factual. Like
No.
they're going to in this lawsuit, they're going to have to disclose what's out there, what's coming.
Yep. Everything.
So I don't know. I can understand maybe if the goal is to try to encourage public sentiment. But even then, it's like I think the more serious public sentiment problem for Microsoft right now is the fact that they're not fucking releasing any video games.
Fun
Yeah.
fact: the FTC, the workers at the FTC who had to watch the Game Awards are the majority of winners of the Steam Decks.
That's
Nice.
possible, I guess.
He says also they don't want to show them how many great games are coming to Game Pass. Yes, it may bite them in the ass as it may be causing more harm than good, but I guarantee they at least have a handful of games ready to ship and probably a dozen AAA for the year. Oh, I don't know about that. But they are waiting until the deal is approved. That would be stupid. At this point, they are past the point of no return and really just have to wait.
I mean,
I see what he's saying, but that you're right. That would be stupid to wait, because that means that they're literally putting all their chips on this deal and just damn the other bunch of studios we just bought. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know.
That to me is the frustrating thing. It's like so again, I have said many times on this podcast that I'm against consolidation in the industry, especially when it comes to major publishers. But like they've got a whole bunch of studios right now, and they've had them for a while,
Yeah.
and they ain't released shit.
Yeah.
So for me, as nice as it will be as an owner of both to be able to play some Activision games on Game Pass, and Blizzard games on Game Pass, the other thing I can't help but think is, okay, but every time they've bought up somebody else that I like, all it seems to do is make it take forever before I get any games.
Yep.
Unless you like Obsidian when they're putting out like 5 a year.
Yeah, but they're not putting out shit I care about.
That's
they're
the
putting
problem,
out
yeah.
like small team stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate as a player that they're allowing their team to get weird and creative.
Yeah.
It's a thing that Double Fine has done in the past, and I always think that the Double Fine stuff that comes out of that is, if not great, at least interesting. And then you get stuff like, Psychonauts 2, which is a masterpiece. So, but you're right. Like, what they've Double Fine was working on Psychonauts, and you haven't seen anything from them since. They were done Psychonauts basically when Microsoft.
I do appreciate that Microsoft gave them the money to finish Psychonauts was going to be smaller
100%.
than it was, and I appreciate that they got the money that they could make that game bigger.
Yeah, and there's a difference too. There's a difference between, hey, we bought this development studio and we're funding their next game, right? That's the difference between us getting a game we weren't going to get and not, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between that and we're buying Activision so that we can control Call of Duty for the next 15 years. Like, I don't know. That's the kind of consolidation I'm not a fan of.
Let's go through the list. We got 343 that only does Halo. We have the Coalition, which only does Gears of War.
Which, by the way, we haven't gotten a new Gears of War in forever either. Not that I really care about that because I don't like that.
I keep hearing they're working on something besides Gears.
I was just going to say, I read that too. That they actually, yes, they're doing Gears. What are we on? 6, 7, whatever. But they're working on something else. They're working on something else,
which would be cool. Like Ryan said,
absolutely,
to see a fucking video game.
Yeah,
let's
get some fucking games.
Yeah, I want to see a video game. Go ahead.
They have Compulsion,
which hasn't done anything since We Happy Few.
Since We Happy Few, and they only have 2 games under the belt: Contrast and We Happy Few, and that's it.
Yep.
Double Fine, who doesn't seem to have anything mentioned on their Wikipedia for stuff in development. Psychonauts 2 is the last game on their list.
Tim Schafer confirmed they are working on a new game, but he has not.
I figured they are, but it's just saying it's like there's nothing about it right now. The Initiative, which is only doing Perfect Dark, which needs help from Crystal Dynamics. Which,
Initiative couldn't even get one game out the door before it fucking needed help.
In Exile, the last game they put out was Wasteland Remastered and Wasteland 3.
Which is recent. Wasteland 3 is recent.
But
yeah, it was last year.
Like, we don't know what they're doing. Mojang is only Minecraft.
Well, they've got a new game coming out this year. They got a new game,
Minecraft
it's
Legends.
Minecraft, yeah.
Hey, wait, but I'm just saying, if you're not
and
a
it's
fan of
multi-platform
Minecraft,
too.
Shocker, right?
But if they're not doing anything, they're not doing anything that's not Minecraft related.
No.
So okay,
No,
I know why they were bought. It's like 343 in the Coalition. Those companies only exist to do one thing, and that's fine. But then they bought Ninja Theory. We're still waiting for Hellblade 2.
That game's never coming out.
Yeah, and then they apparently have Project Mara to be announced. Obsidian, they've only put out small stuff since.
Yeah, they've
got Avowed, which I was reminded on this podcast of the name of it.
Yep, Grounded, Pentiment, those are out. Avowed is coming out, and they have the Outer Worlds too.
Yeah, they finished Outer Worlds right before they got bought. And then they did 2 games, and now they're working on Avowed and Outer Worlds too. So Obsidian is doing the work. I can't complain about Obsidian.
Yeah,
that's
Playground.
Not a shock. Those guys have always done the work.
Playground just put out Forza last year.
Horizon, and they're working on Fable.
Yep.
Rare only does Sea of Thieves at this point.
Everwild's never coming out.
Everwild's not coming out. So
no.
Turn 10 does Forza, another studio that only does one thing.
That'll be out this year or next
year.
Which is fine. 2023.
Again, I'm totally Undead Labs.
They've been working on State of Decay. That game was announced in 2020, y'all.
But another publisher or another developer that only does one thing. They have World's Edge that's doing Age of Empires.
Yeah, I mean.
Then they have Bethesda, all of ZeniMax.
Which they finally get Ghostwire in March.
Right.
Yeah, like they have Arcane, which is doing that the vampire game, Redfall.
Yeah, Redfall.
We don't know what it is doing.
Bethesda, they have Bethesda that's doing Starfield. I didn't say it's not Starfall.
And TES.
Yeah, they're working on Elder Scrolls 6 too.
Right. That'll be out in 2025, maybe.
Yeah, of course.
We don't know what id's doing.
Nope, we don't know what id's doing.
Machine Games hasn't done anything.
They're doing Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. You know the game that we haven't heard
also
anything
haven't
more
seen.
about.
Yeah, we saw a title card. We saw a Metroid Prime title card for that game.
By the way, we still don't have Wolfenstein wrapped up.
No.
So
like the
that story, the story hasn't hit its end.
Nope.
Wow.
So Wolfenstein 3 probably next year or the year after, maybe?
Yeah. Human Head Studios was bought by Bethesda, which is funny knowing the history of Human Head Studios, and turned into Roundhouse Studios. They haven't done anything.
They're probably working on a
Roundhouse.
phone version of fucking.
No,
Elder
because
Scrolls.
the phone company is Alpha Dog Games. Tango GameWorks,
He's working on something, but we don't know what it is.
and then there's the Elder Scrolls Online studio. So
Again,
it's a lot of studios that do one thing, and then the other people that we don't know what they're fucking doing.
man,
And some of the studios that we know what they're doing aren't doing anything currently.
I feel like there's so much, like, if I was running that shit, like, if I did get Activision, I put, like, Toys for Bob on a Banjo game, and fucking High Moon Studios on something.
I'd let Toys for Bob do whatever the fuck they want.
No shit, Toys for Bob is fucking great.
They did. I don't really like Crash Bandicoot. Goddamn, that Crash Bandicoot game is fucking amazing.
Toys for Bob is just an amazing developer. The same with High Moon Studios, like, they're a great developer. And
Yeah. Transformers. Dark Watch. Man. No, wait, that might have been Raven. No, that was High Moon.
that was High
High
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah, that was High Moon. Like, Activision has some great studio pedigree that's all working on fucking Call of Duty maps. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, just wasted. God.
Damn. Yeah, I'm looking at the Activision Shanghai, Beanox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon,
Enox is good. Those Spider-Man
Infinity
games.
Ward, Radical Entertainment. Oh,
Man, there's so much.
Raven, Sledgehammer, Solid State, Toys for Bob, Treyarch.
Microsoft has yet to prove that they can pull these people in and pump out games like this. Like, I don't think it's, like I said earlier, the goodwill is gone. If Microsoft does not prove anything in 2023, I will never. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's just.
I feel you.
Nothing good's gonna come out of this.
I do think that they've got some good stuff coming next year, so it'll be nice. But it's just, again, it brings me back to, even if I wasn't sort of against consolidation in general, it's like I make the point again. They haven't done anything in the last several years to make me think it's a great idea for them to control a whole bunch more studios.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can change my opinion on that next year.
I hope so, because I get the COVID stuff, I do. But when
Yeah.
Sony pumped out 2 Game of the Year nominees in that time frame, y'all ain't got no excuse.
Yeah.
All right. He says, having everyone on the internet's bitching about Xbox being a no-show, have not been keeping up with the deal. I think we have.
Yeah, we've definitely been. And again, I want to make the point again that the FTC is not relying on Xbox to advertise their stuff to have access to know what they're working on.
Nope.
Like that's not the way this works.
They will know everything, and it will see it. Like, those court stuff is normally public, but it'll all be redacted. Like, we won't be able to see the name or the dates or anything like that. But the FTC is going to see everything.
Yep. He says, at least the void left by Microsoft absence TGA was filled by the epic/strange Judge Pacino award and speech. He's still talking.
Yeah, that was so friggin' weird.
It was so weird.
He says, anyway, my games of the year in no order: Midnight Suns, Store Romantic, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, God of War Ragnarok, Neon White, Elden Ring, Stray, Dying Light 2, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, Pentiment, and Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Take care. Merry Christmas.
I have not played any.
Pretty good
of those
list.
games.
Merry Christmas.
Wow, none of those? You didn't play none of those?
No.
Wow.
I played a few of them. I
Yeah.
played Pentiment.
7 of my 10 entries is just going to be
I
Sonic
I
Frontiers.
like how that's the game.
Yeah.
It's like, I played
yeah.
Pentiment. There's such disdain in your voice.
Because I just feel like I just didn't grasp something that game was putting out, because I read people's like descriptions, and they are so enthralled in this game, and I'm like, what did I miss? Like, did I play it wrong? Like, I don't know.
What mindset did you enter with? Because you know what, I
didn't have one because I didn't know what it was. I was
Okay,
just
that's
like,
fair.
okay, I'm
'Cause,
coming,
like,
whatever.
when I went into the mindset of, hey, Yakuza's going to be GTA, I was heavily disappointed.
I
When I
got you.
approach it as, hey, Yakuza's an RPG that has, like, brawling in it as your random battles, I went, oh, I like this. So, it's like if you enter it as like this is a D&D session without the combat, maybe Pentiment is a lot more fun. I don't know.
All right.
Actually, that makes sense. Okay, go ahead.
As I said, we got some tweets, so we'll get out of here. Taker says, thanks for the many years of entertainment you guys have provided. You have made my 8-hour workday so much better. For at least 2 hours, I can put the podcast on. He says, I played Forspoken demo and loved it. Are you ready, Ryan? Because we're about to do our two human conversation. I really don't understand what you guys are talking about. The game looks fantastic. Maybe your TV settings are not set up properly, but the game looks and plays very well. I would take offense to this comment because I spent days mastering my TV settings.
The only thing I'll say is that if it's very strange that my TV is somehow set up to only make Forspoken look bad, because everything else looks fine.
Yeah,
but that game was it's a visual design mess.
Don't make Ken
just
talk
open the
about his
menu.
fucking TVs.
Like I'm just sorry, just open the menu. Like open the menu and tell me that's well designed.
I can't.
I still haven't got to play it yet, because I definitely have my PlayStation back. But the UI is pretty bad, and I don't know. That person is like one of the only people I've heard say anything good about Forspoken, and it just makes me sad because I was hoping.
Glad that somebody enjoys it.
No. If
Yeah.
you enjoy the game, that's awesome. But you cannot tell me that it is visually pleasing, like menu wise, or like the vomit of open world stuff that's out there that just meshes against everything else.
Oh wow,
that stuff
I don't know
bothers
about
me.
that. Jeez, okay.
Yeah, like Ryan and I were talking about, like the enemies blend into the background. It's just
yeah, it's yeah. Listen, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I hope people love that game. I do.
I do not.
I
hope people. I didn't mean that to sound like I was saying I don't hope people enjoy the game. I do not enjoy the game, is what I meant that to say.
All right, can we hear that? Please tell me there's a "you're just playing it wrong" comment coming.
No. The TV comment was like your TV settings are wrong. I'm like, motherfucker, I literally spend days.
Yeah, I know you're a psychopath.
I have problems. Like if a color looks off on an episode, I like go fix that shit. Like, come on.
No, I thought when you said it was here's a human conversation, I was like, oh please God, let it be. Like you're just playing it wrong.
Well, I saw that comment online. If people are like, you playing this wrong, I'm like, no, the game does not play well. Like I don't like the way it plays.
Not play well. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Taker does.
I'm the one who gets accused of being a Sony fanboy on the podcast. Well, Drew too, although that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, Drew didn't even have a PS5. That doesn't work anymore.
And I still think that game is not good.
Taker says if Ryan is there, which he is,
I am.
I would love to hear his thoughts on Mandy Rose getting fired. Thanks.
I think it's perfectly in keeping with WWE's global strategy of exploitation to believe that it's perfectly fine for them to exploit a female performer's sexuality, but not allow that performer to exploit it themselves for hard-earned cash. It did not surprise me at all when they fired her for it, because they have a history of doing that kind of thing. They love to throw their female performers out there in scantily clad outfits or into sexually suggestive positions, although it's less now than it used to be. And they have a history of preventing them from doing stuff like OnlyFans or photo shoots that aren't blessed by WWE corporate. And it's a joke. It's a joke, but that company's been a joke for a long time.
And
so
this is
on the PR side, or on the human resources side. So,
and there's more to this too. So not only is there's that sexism that like I'm not super familiar with, and like, Ryan, you're more familiar with that portion of knowing the WD's shittiness there. But like I know that like a bunch of wrestlers were told, "Hey, like you're doing Twitch, you can't do Twitch anymore."
Yeah, and so to be fair, some of that was under the Vince McMahon regime, and then when he was ousted, they rolled back some of their prohibitions on Twitch. Part of that is because they lost good performers, because the
They left.
performers were like, "Hey, I'd much rather keep my Twitch channel and go make money wrestling for somebody else." But yeah, I mean, I think it probably it's even more egregious in the case of Mandy Rose than it would be because so WWE, for those of you who haven't been following along or who kind of conceptualized WWE mostly as the company it was in the late 90s, most at this point of the female wrestlers in WWE, it is the sort of bra and panty matches, mud wrestling stuff is gone, and it's treated much more on par with men's wrestling in the company now than it ever has been before, which has been a huge jump forward for the company in the last 5 years, particularly with the increase in profile of like Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and Bayley, the four horsewomen as they're collectively known. Mandy Rose specifically, though, her character is very much sexualized in nature. And so for the company to make that her character and then turn around and say, oh, the content that you're putting on your personal OnlyFans or whatever her platform was is objectionable, so we're going to fire you is a big joke. It's a big joke. Especially, and I don't want to get into the labor conversation because that's a much bigger conversation, but especially when WWE classifies all of their performers as independent contractors and not employees.
That's what I was just about to say.
As an employee of my company, if I go online and talk shit about them or do something objectionable, they can fire me. But if you're an independent contractor, for them to be like, hey, we don't like this income source that you have, well then fuck you, make me an employee. Yeah, I'm very much down on their product and their personnel decisions at this point. And I know a lot of people have kind of given them the benefit of the doubt now that Vince McMahon is gone. But the reality is most of the people behind the scenes making decisions are the same people behind the scenes that were making low-level decisions before. And so,
they're Vince McMahon's family.
Well, yes.
Like,
yeah, there's that too.
Man, I can't imagine him having some control over the company still by just being part of the fucking family that owns it.
Right.
Like, come on. The whole thing about wrestlers in general not being employees is just shit. So, to me, like, not only is it gross knowing now that you've said it more about her character in the ring, but, like, A, you don't pay these people enough to hurt themselves the way they do. And B, like, it sounds like, oh, well, we want a cut of that, or you don't fucking get to do it.
Yeah, it's...
you don't own these people. You don't own these people at all. It's already enough when, like, companies... I'm about to get into a conversation, I'll just make quick. It's shitty enough when companies are like, hey, we don't like your... you're an employee, and they're like, we don't like the way you're talking on Twitter. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be working there. It's none of your fucking business what I do in my private time. Especially if I don't put online, which I've never done, and I would never go and shit talk like my company in detail publicly if I had issues. But I don't like the fact that companies more and more have started prying in to people's personal lives outside of business hours. That's none of your fucking business because you're not paying the person during that time. Right. So fuck off. And to me, that's what this is. Now, if she's using her wrestling name that's owned by WWE, which is also fucked, I can maybe get it. But even then, I'd still say, go fuck yourself. That's don't use that name, not we're firing you.
WWE has very much, I mean, they have really stretched the confines and definitions of independent contractor, not just in stuff like that, but in the fact that they are wrestlers in the WWE are, without very, very unique circumstances, are forbidden from working any other wrestling promotions. So even including independents. So, and not only do they control their outside media appearances, but they also control their appearances within professional wrestling. unlike a company like AEW, which also isn't perfect, but does allow their employees to work independence as well to make extra money. So, and doesn't care if they're on Twitch or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a long-winded response, but the punchline is I think it's gross, but not surprising based on the nature of WWE.
All right, the last tweet I got comes from Perfidy. He says, "What's up, fellas? Happy holidays to you all and a prosperous 2023. When it comes to you and your families, this year game-wise is insane. I can't wait to see what 2023 has in store for us gamers."
Agreed. I'm super
2023 's
excited for Starfield, man. I can't. That's the game that and Spider-Man are the two highest games on my list for next year.
Dude, Spider-Man, Starfield, Street Fighter, Diablo.
Oh God, I forgot about Street Fighter.
Like-
Your
yeah,
Horizon DLC.
There's
Yeah.
so much that's already known for 2023. It's just
Not-
been the Zelda. Zelda is out.
Zelda.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
So next year is just really like, what does Ryan like?
Yes, pretty much. I'm gonna, and I'll never have time to play all of it.
I legitimately have a hard time picking a game of the year this year because I don't have one that stands head and shoulders above everything else. Next year, I don't know how I'm going to handle that shit.
I'm not going to be able to. Next year is so incredibly packed. Oh my God.
And what happens if a Mortal Kombat gets announced?
Right.
Like-
Oh my God. And then this is only stuff we know about. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
2023 may go down as the best year of gaming. We're going to be in year 3 of these new consoles, so they'll be hitting hardcore strides.
Yeah.
Like,
And we're finally starting to get games that aren't on the old gen too.
yes, which means we're going to see
yeah,
some
yeah.
really cool visual stuff, and just, man, I can't wait. I just hope we don't go back to the fucking 4K 30 shit. Can we just give me an option, please? Just let it be. Let me have the 60. Let me have it. Don't make me choose. But no, that's everything I have for this week. If you want to shoot us an email, it's podcasts@ztgd.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's @N4G Podcast. You can also follow all of us. Maybe if we don't get banned from saying we have another social account on Twitter, because that's the thing now.
Yeah, Twitter is a wild place. Go ahead.
I don't know. There's some crazy shit going on over there. I'm at ZTGD, Ryan's at Wombat RP, Terrace at Lord Magnus, Anthony's not there. Maybe he's the smart one. And yeah, this is it.
Can somebody just clip that audio and say Anthony's not there, maybe he's the smart one, and just kind of clip the Anthony's the smart one? That'd be perfect.
Nobody's
It's the only time Ken will say that.
nobody's gonna clip that. This is it. This is last show for the 2022 year. That's it. It's over.
Well, this year has been a thing. Everybody enjoy your holidays.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What do I say to this?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Like, there's so many. Didn't
There's
Hanukkah
a
just
lot.
start this week? Isn't that this week? I don't know. I'm legitimately asking. I thought,
What
I
was the
don't know.
question again? Sorry.
is Hanukkah
Did
start
Hanukkah
this week?
just start?
Oh yeah, it started.
Okay, I thought it was like relatively recent. Like,
Yep, started I think today.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I thought it started today. So yeah, hopefully not only that you enjoy the holidays, but take some fucking mental time and get away from
Yes.
work and that shit. Because I don't know about you, but I take the end of the year every year to just recharge my brain.
That's good.
Because you gotta be able to kick off. You gotta have your brain ready so you can stop writing 2022 and everything and write 2023 and everything.
And you're still going to write 2022 and everything.
Oh
'cause,
yeah,
You know,
it's just
I mess up the year all the time.
you gotta make it last like not into February at some point.
Right. That's the goal. Yeah.
But anyway, I hope everybody has a good holiday season. I'm gonna spend it with my backlog and some TV shows that I have not caught up on. I finally watched Black Adam. That movie was a movie.
Yep.
That's what I can say about that movie.
And The Rock is out here like blaming the toxic fandom and stuff. And I'm like, no, bro, it's your fault. You've been hyping up this movie for 15 years to being the greatest thing since sliced bread. And surprise when it didn't turn out to be that?
No, that movie wasn't Black Adam. That movie was Hawkman and Dr. Fate go on a journey.
Yes, it was.
Those are the two best
things
characters
about
in that movie.
Yep.
Like by a country mile. Like,
Yep. Best things about that movie.
whew. And that's I mean, when you're the star, like his performance in that movie is so bad, and I don't hate his performances.
I don't either. I don't typically hate his performances, but yeah, it was not because I guess he was trying to show his cold and kind of unfeeling, but it just
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all.
No, yeah, it was not. It wasn't good.
On a scale of like, what's The Rock's best movie?
Oh man.
Wow, for me, man, damn, Anthony,
I was gonna say on a scale of whatever his best movie is to Doom, where does this lie?
Oh God,
Man, Doom is another movie where everybody around him was excellent.
yeah,
He's the worst part of that movie.
He was the worst part of that movie.
And it's not just because I love Carl Urban anytime he shows up in anything.
That
Oh, yeah,
guy
he's the
that
best.
played the guy that dies in the bathroom, I never know his name, but I love him in everything he's in. He was
The Doom movie is not the worst video game movie, but they could have just done anything at that point.
yeah.
Probably
The Rundown.
I still
The
think the
Rundown is his
craziest.
best movie.
I still think the craziest Rock thing for me is the fact that he was supposed to be the lead in The One before it went to Jet Li.
Wait,
Are you
what?
serious?
Yeah, The One was actually written for The Rock, but
Oh my
he had
God.
a conflict and couldn't make it. So they ended up giving it to Jet Li instead.
I never knew. Wow.
Yep.
How would the?
I need to know his movies now because I need to figure out.
No, the craziest thing for The Rock for me was when they tried to do that Spy Hunter movie that never got off the ground, but we still got the game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I played that game on PlayStation 2.
I like the Jumanji movies. They're okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jumanji movies are good.
I still think The Rundown is my favorite movie. It is.
Yeah, The Rundown is my favorite. I think.
Yes, him and Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Sean William Scott is not appreciated enough in his time.
No, he's not.
He's not.
I'm looking.
You ever seen? Side note: Sean William Scott. You ever seen the movie Goon, the first one?
No, I have not seen that movie.
I'm not a hockey guy, which I know a lot of people are like Canadian, but it's not our official sport anyways. Go fuck
Oh
yourself.
my God, he was in.
He's amazing.
He was the voice of Cliff Jumper in Transformers Prime.
Yeah, he was like in 2 episodes. Like they made a big deal of that. It like Cliff Trumper like got killed or changed or something in the first couple of episodes.
I'm gonna look at his movies now, and I'm like, I don't see anything that really stands out.
Because it's The Rundown. You already know. That's like his best movie.
The Tooth
Unless
Fairy.
you're a Fast and the Furious fan, then I guess you could pick any of those.
I'm a big Fast and the Furious fan, but like he's not my favorite character. Like Han is the best character in that series.
Okay.
Han
Is Han the one that died?
Well, I'm not gonna spoil those
Supposedly,
movies
but not
for
really.
you.
But yes, but no. But then these movies are out of order. But then really, there's a little heavy
It's
lore.
a wacky. It's a wacky
Just
universe.
watch the fucking cars. jump the
Motherfucker, they
fucking
went to
shit.
space in the last movie. I don't even want to talk about it.
I didn't even watch it. Like they done. Them movies is crazy. Like,
They literally went to space with aluminum foil and duct tape. I'm not even kidding you.
oh my god!
On a car.
In a car.
Nice. Oh Lord!
If that doesn't make you want to watch the movie, I don't know what will.
I guess I'm gonna have to look at it because he's really out here doing anything for family. Like we really going to space. Jesus.
Yeah, I just went to space, man. Fuck it. I liked Rampage. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed that movie.
Another one where I'm like, why are they making this a video game tie-in?
Yeah,
Just do a thing with giant monsters. I'm cool
I
with
did
that.
not like that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, San Andreas wasn't great.
I didn't see that one because I just feel like it was a Die Hard ripoff, and I'm like, but why?
No, Die Hard is the tower
Oh, is that the
yeah.
one with him?
where he
Yeah.
has a robot leg.
Okay, I thought that
San
was
Andreas
Skyscraper.
is
Okay.
That's Skyscraper. Yeah. San Andreas was the one where the San Andreas Fault opens up and it's big.
Oh, he's a helicopter
earthquake.
pilot.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, okay, that one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It is okay. Most of the Rock's movies are okay.
Yeah, they're just okay. They're entertaining. That's what it is. You're like, oh, I'm entertained. Thank you, Rock. Like, yeah.
And now he's trying to be the voice of the DC universe, and that didn't go very well.
Right.
That did not play out the way you thought it was
Oh,
going to.
man. Yeah, it did not go. It didn't go. And then you made poor Cavill a pawn in your scheme. I read that. Some journalist said that. I was like, well, damn. I don't know if that was really what happened, but man.
I felt like Pierce Brosnan in that whole movie, like his attitude was just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like the whole movie just felt good.
Yeah.
Like look on his face every time was like, what's this motherfucker talking about?
Yeah, the best parts of that movie was the two of them, man.
Oh,
Jeez.
100%. Like, I felt like the movie was their movie, and he was just like a part of it.
It was, for the most part. Like, I think they were trying to jumpstart a JSA thing or something like that, because it was pretty much, they were the stars.
Yeah, like the line where Pierce Brosnan's like, we're the Justice Society of America. I was like, he's telling The Rock to get the fuck out of this movie.
Right?
Shit. That was good. That was good. All right. Well, you know, we give you all almost 3 hours to listen to on the final show. You'll have to listen to it twice because we won't be back until 2023. So there you go. And on that note, we'll get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G podcast.
It's me, Mario.
Zero tolerance.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I always live in angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0. Killed the dragon.